NBC Monday. 11 years after the divorce, Bill was living a full and happy life. His ex-wife, Gladys, was homeless.
I was starving. I had no money.
Now, the court forced her ex-husband to pay for her to get back on her feet, from happiness to homelessness. An all-new Dateline tonight at 8/7 Central.
Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park Camp Resorts, where you can rent a campsite, cottage, or cabin. Enjoy our 50-acre lake with boat rentals and plenty of fishing and swimming, or dive into our heated pool. Kids have lots to do at our 4 playgrounds, giant game room, and miniature golf course. Plus, there are daily events and nightly cartoons. Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park Camp Resort, State Route 82 in Manaway.
We heard the way out to live inside out at Window Systems.
You know about window systems. You know about our fine quality Bristol Barricade windows. You know about our siding. Now I have even more exciting news for you. Window Systems is able to offer you 12 months famous cash. That's right, 12 months famous cash. Now we're even more affordable than ever.
We know the way out to live inside out at Window Systems.
Welcome back to Safe Auto Insurance Company, where there's always someone to answer your call.
Getting auto insurance from us has its benefits.
Low monthly payments.
Immediate coverage.
And the peace of mind you get from being prepared should you be pulled over.
That's right. In addition to being a good idea, having car insurance is the law.
As you can see, representatives are standing by.
So play it safe. Pick up the phone.
And call now.
Pick up the phone, the call is free. 1-800 Auto, Safe Auto.
From WKYC's Digital Broadcast Center, this is Channel 3 News.
Good morning, I'm Kristen Anderson. It is 9:55, and we will get to the news after Weather First with Mike.
Hey, Christine. Good morning, everyone. Well, for today, a lot better than the weekend was. A mix of clouds and sun. There's a system, though, off towards the west. That'll spread some rain in here during the day tomorrow, probably not until the afternoon, and some of that will last into Wednesday as well, but then we should dry out for the second half of the week into the upcoming weekend. Before today, intervals of clouds and sun, a bit warmer than it was this weekend, a high of about 66. As we go into tonight, a few clouds around a low near 50. Tomorrow, some showers and storms, but we think there will be many dry hours with a little bit of sun, near 70 tomorrow. Better chance of rain on Wednesday, and then we dry out for Thursday and Friday with highs in the 60s. We'll see today at noon. Kristen.
Thanks, Mike. A mild earthquake hit Ashtabula last night in the same area where 2 quakes occurred last January. So far, there's no word of any injuries or damage. The quake hit at 6:36 last night and had a magnitude of 3.0 on the Richter scale. Its center was about 10 miles north of Ashtabula, which would put it in Lake Erie. An investigator from the Federal Health Department is expected in Alliance today to look into 3 meningitis cases. The outbreak prompted thousands of people to line up for free antibiotics. 2 high school students died from that disease a week ago. Another is still hospitalized this morning. West Branch High School, where the students attended, will reopen tomorrow. And 700 volunteers from at least 37 churches in 17 states are coming to Northeast Ohio. They're helping to build a new Baptist church in Aurora. Most of the volunteers do not have construction experience and are using vacation time to help out. It will take them 11 weeks to complete this project. That is the news for now. Be sure to join us for the very latest in news and weather today at noon. I weigh about what I weighed when I graduated from college. I just don't remember wearing a size 6. It's wonderful.
And I'm usually at the mall once a week shopping for new clothes because I love how everything fits me now.
LA weight loss. Summer never looked so good.
Since I've lost my weight, people have graduated from high school, I can walk by them, and they won't even recognize me.
The LA weight loss program is the best thing that I have done for myself in the last 15 years.
Now, just $7 a week. Call for your free consultation. LA Weight Loss Centers, 1-800-526-SLIM.
Are your windows just not holding up the way they used to? Call the Window and Door Factory for a free estimate on our energy-efficient windows with a lifetime warranty. Save $400 off our already low summer prices by calling 1-888-722-2835.
I'm Joe Tate for Gutter Helmet of Northeast Ohio. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never have to clean your gutters again. The hardest rain ever documented in the United States is just over 11 inches per hour. Testing shows Gutter Helmet can handle twice that amount. Its brilliantly engineered design keeps your gutters flowing freely. And during the harsh Cleveland winters, Gutter Helmet stops snow and ice from clogging your gutters as well. Gutter Helmet, the first, the best, the #1 gutter protection system in the world.
Don't miss Levin Furniture's special offer. Make no payments for 18 months or get 15% free furniture. It must end this Wednesday at Levin.
The always famous Billy Crudup and performing live Mandy Moore, plus Weatherman. Al Roker, next Rosie.
This afternoon at 4 on Channel 3. I'm Larry Yoga. This is Moral Court.
Her mom is white, her dad is Mexican. What does she have to do with it?
She wants to earn my living. I can't give her what I don't have.
You should have it. I'm your family. I'm your blood. It is thicker than anything else. Nothing else will come between that.
But you're Mexican. The tension of a court show.
What is wrong with you? Case dismissed.
The emotion of a cocktail.
I would rather struggle, Your Honor, than to raise my kids on some nasty money.
The excitement of a game show with cash prizes for those who are morally right.
$2,000. Who's the accuser?
This show isn't about small claims.
You don't do something to somebody if you don't want done to you.
It's about the difference between right and wrong.
My God, thank you.
Moral, where it pays to be right.
My name is Teresa Coleman, and my Aunt Virginia is a bigot. She's supposed to treat me like everyone else in the family, but she doesn't. She treats me like a second-class citizen because I'm half Mexican. Her behavior is disgusting, and I want the judge to set her straight.
I'm Virginia. My sister and I were raised to keep our own. She violated that code when she got pregnant by a Mexican man. I find it hard to accept my niece, Teresa, because she is a product of a relationship that I have always been taught is wrong.
Mr. Brown, Teresa, you brought your Aunt Virginia to moral court because, in your opinion, she is a racist and she's been disrespecting you because you are half Mexican.
Yes.
So tell me about it, Teresa.
Okay, well, since I was little, she's been rude and disrespectful and bringing my siblings treats and not myself, like teasing me. But I was too young to understand that. Until about when I was 8 years old, she took me to Disneyland. Actually, she came along with my mother and my sister and brother to Disneyland. She came to bring us on rides because my mother was
Who's the
injured.
Mexican, your mom or your dad?
My father. She came with us. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
She came with us, and she took my sisters and brothers on rides all day long. And I'm the only child that I know of who went to Disneyland and never went on a single ride. But she refused to take me because she didn't want me to be walking by her side. She didn't want to be seen with somebody who wasn't the same color as her.
Because they would say that she's my child. If I took her walking along with me, they'd say, oh, what a beautiful daughter you've got. And I was taught that it is totally and completely wrong.
Hold on a second. You're taught what, Aunt Virginia?
I was taught that it was completely wrong to intermix marriages.
And
My
so,
father has taught me that all my life.
and so you were afraid that people may think that Teresa was your daughter,
Right,
and that you had committed the sin of marrying outside of your race,
right.
and you wouldn't want anybody to think that about you.
No, absolutely not. I mean, there ain't no reason I should have to walk alongside
My grandfather has learned to live with this. He has been great to me my entire life. He is the only one who has not been able to accept it. And she has hurt me time and time again my entire life, ever since I was younger, and I'm sick of it. I am so sick of being abused by her emotionally.
She tries to work her way into my life. She
Tries?
tries to earn my love.
Tries to work her way into your life?
Yeah, she wants to earn my love, and I can't give her what I don't have. It's not there, and I can't give
You
it to
should
her.
have it. I'm your family. I'm your blood. It is thicker than any...
In a world of opportunity, how do you find a financial advisor who's right for you? Do you want one who works for the oldest company or the youngest? Do you want one with the fastest growing company Or the most deeply rooted in tradition? Or do you simply want one who listens to you, like you are the only investor in the world? Raymond James, you first. For years, tigers have been the target of poachers. Killed for their fur and organs, these magnificent creatures have become an endangered species. ExxonMobil is sponsoring a program that protects tigers from poachers. And to judge by its success, things are starting to click. To help, call 1-800-5-TIGERS.
Relax, you got supplemental insurance. What are you talking about? If we get injured in this work, we're covered for things like lost pay and other expenses with that. With what? Plus they pay you cash. Great, huh? Who does?
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Will the Lakers' joy and their streak continue? The NBA Finals begin Wednesday on NBC.
Well, at court, Philippe shot for Andre Agassi up 2-1 and has just broken Melageni after a long battle for Fernando. 4 break point game. And after being run around the court by Agassi for 3 sets, the last thing Melageni knew was John was a long game to start the fourth.
Exactly right, but that's what he got. And once again, the umpire allowing these players to take some time here on the changeover, which is, unless they've changed the rule again, that's something I'm unaware of. It's not what they should be doing.
Seems like about the only thing they won't let them do is sit down. They can go, get the towel off, drink.
Agassi with some new balls and an early break in the fourth set. He's just about broken Fernando's spirit here. Renewed zip with these fresh balls, and Melageni, who has gone into the classic clay court mold, just moonballing a few shots and getting an error from Agassi. Yeah, so far this change of gears has worked.
Is it a change of pace? Is Melageni trying to find himself?
You can see, Ted, that these points are tough points for Melageni. So he's not buying himself a whole lot of time, but what he is doing is just trying to throw a wrinkle at Agassi. Give him credit for that. He worked pretty hard to win that previous point, and he's going to have to really dig deep to be able to have this be effective long term.
Got a chance. Change and that 2 break points.
He got inside Agassi's head. He's made him rethink just enough to give himself a couple break points here. Even the pass that Melageni had hit in the previous point was a classic defensive pass, just making sure to make it. This time, when Agassi's got the ball just sitting there with no pace on it whatsoever, knowing Melageni's hurting,
Pretty easy put away for him. Jenny really needs this point. I guess he told him not to look at it. He wants to keep going. Jenny looking to get a little time there. And to me, this is just about doing it. If we cannot break serve here, you sense Fernando's thinking the same thing. He's already down 2-1. He's already down a break. I guess he got thrown off just a touch at the beginning of this game. If he holds here, then you very well see Andre steamroll through this set. A couple of wild shots from Melageni now, and Andre Agassi with a point for 2 love. Arthur's, by the way, you remember him, Wayne, we talked about him, that played 3 tie-break sets already. So Andre Agassi saves break point, and he now leads 2 love in the fourth.
Once, when you took on a job, you did the job, start to finish. At Siebel, we make application software that lets you give your customers personalized service. We know it works because we track our own customers to make sure they're successful. No one asked us to follow up. No one had to. It's our job. Siebel, good service is good business.
When the kids moved out, the Knapps were ready to make a move of their own. That's where a Prudential real estate professional came in, with expert guidance, smart technology, and worldwide exposure for their home. Tap the strength of the rock in real estate.
And now, a message from NASCAR.
Moving, moving, moving. Get them NASCARs moving. Moving on to NBC. Don't try to understand why. Just rev them engines and drive. Soon we'll be machines. Fuel them up, rev them out, jack them up, ride them hard.
Rev them up.
Moving on NASCAR.
NASCAR's moving. To learn more, log on to NBCI.com.
Moving.
That was great.
Let's play one more.
Dying.
One more. Come on.
New One-A-Day Active, the energy-enhancing multivitamin.
Hey, you want to play one?
Just one?
One-A-Day. Get active, stay active.
Today's most successful companies understand the need to do business with customers, suppliers, and partners in real time. Because it's not about the information age anymore. It's about the age of your information.
It all comes down to one game for the Bucks and the Sixers. Behind Ray Allen, the Bucks force a sudden death Game 7 showdown. Now the scene shifts back to Philly, and Allen Iverson's loud home crowd. A trip to the NBA Finals is on the line. Sunday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, NBC.
Fernando Melageni is he's probably run the equivalent of 2 5-set matches already. That's how he feels. Now down 2-1, love 2. Arthur's, by the way, up 2-1. 7-6, 6-7, 7-6. Those 5, it could be 18-16. They will not finish that. No tie break here. Federer's got up 2-1. The only other match still being played. There's Ricardo Ascioli. Melageni trying to square himself. He's lost his last 4 service games. He's still happy. He's got an easy game so far here. He could really use one. Nice to another Jenny. Holds it low.
Every NBC Monday, 6 young people compete against their fears and against each other.
You are out to win. This is not the Boy Scouts. Bring in the rest.
I think she might start to cry.
Wow.
Her?
Yes. You're doing what?
Oh my God!
Fear Factor, NBC 1 week from Monday.
What if a car could adjust to you? What if a car could determine the best way to protect you? What if a car offered over 40 standard safety features? Ford Taurus, featuring a 5-star safety rating. Right now, lease a Taurus for $287 a month for 36 months with just $587 due at signing. That's right, a Ford Taurus for $287 a month for 36 months with just $587 due at signing. Leading the way, your local Ford store.
Hi, it's me, Mikey, from Regency Windows and Siding. Guess what? You asked for it, you got it. $229 for any size double hung, completely installed.
Backed by popular demand, it's our energy-efficient double hung, completely installed for an incredible $229. Look, it tilts in for easy cleaning, never needs painting, also includes screens, locks, a lifetime warranty, plus 12-month same as cash.
You asked for it, only $229.
So call Regency Windows today.
I'm going to save you a lot of money.
First Kids and Josh Hartnett and Vanity Fair. Next in Z.
The 2001 French Open from Roland Garros is brought to you by Raymond James, listening to you like you are the only investor in the world. And by Siebel. Siebel, good service is good business. Andre Agassi serving at 2-1, fourth set. And I think you sense even more urgency in Andre's game now, with darkness becoming a greater factor. Changed drastically once again the last couple minutes. Things looking shaky out there. Clouds rolling in. Andre hoping to just get through this match if he possibly can. Finish Melodeni off. Got to put the landing gear out there. Well, that's all you can ask of Fernandez. He certainly made out and hit an extra couple shots. Still wasn't good enough. Jenny's too tired to even ask to see the mark. Morris, he gets out and calls it good. I didn't see it come in the last one. Can't tell there, but bottom line is Andre's about to replay this point. Been on the court a couple hours now. Now I know why pigeons are big dish here in France. They're all over the place. Well, it's early evening, in fact. It's their time of night.
Oh, good.
I've seen Melodeni play a fair amount over the years. Didn't know he possessed quite this much power. Maybe this is a newfound late in his career, but he's whacked a number of forehand winners in this match. For someone who barely got around enough time to hit that forehand, he certainly was pleasantly surprised with that result. He's got himself a couple great points. One down. It's been one of those matches you look at the scoring and think, they're not been closer than the score would show. Up early in the first, after rebounding. Third set was a closer 6-1 than you might have thought. He just can't pull the trigger there. Forehand lets him down. Both great points. And one run for Melageni was after a 10-minute delay in the second set. He won 4 straight games. I've always admired Agassi's ability to hurt people with his shot. What we like to call the backhand overhead. He's got some beautiful strength up there, and he times that ball. He's got to be one, if not the best in the business at that shot. You've got to be especially impressed by the fact that Andre Nolan two-handed back. And so there, Agassi saves 2 great points and holds for 3-1. Fernando Melageni trying to fight off discouragement, and he's worked and worked. He's fought hard in his fourth set, and that doesn't have much to show for it. Why couldn't I have done that? At 50-40 or 30-40? Fernando's wondering. That's his 4th ace. Because it's tougher to hit a free throw in the end of the 4th period than the beginning of the game. Same thing. Certainly run through this game again. Now Agassi's coming up to look. I'm not sure that was a mark, but if it is, he was a mark and win that point. Yes, he did. He got called out. Well, Jenny thought he had the ace and a 40-love lead. Instead, see, this is what I'm saying. The guy just loves to be out there. There's a full of competition. Winning and losing is one thing, but the actual just to say you're part of the action is pretty amazing in itself. Which we all know doesn't matter whether you win or lose until you lose. So, yes, it's thrilling to be out there, but it's tough to take those defeats. You know, Jenny's got a losing record this year, and he still seems happy out there. That's admirable. Saved himself in that game. He's still on the break in the 4th.
Ah, usual gentlemen?
Well, perhaps Bremen, but I'll be having tea. Well, I'm the designated driver. Not so quick, friend. I'll be having the tea, as I'm to be the driver. Deny yourself if you like, but I'll be a driving.
only a Porsche brings to driving.
C-Dot. C-Dot run. C-Dot push. C-Dot win. C-Dot win again. C-Dot cook. C-Dot inspire. C-Dot go. See where Dot gets all her energy. I love this bed. Sealy Posturepedic, the bed more orthopedic surgeons sleep on. We support you night and day. Information is everywhere. It's that kind of world. But being financially successful isn't about getting information. It's about getting the right information from the right financial advisor. Morgan Stanley. Move your money. Get well connected.
It was sweet redemption at the Preakness. California's Super Horse, Point Gibbon, bounced back from his Derby disappointment to post a resounding victory at Pimlico. Now, he'll take on Kentucky Derby winner Monarchos in the exciting conclusion of the Visa Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes, next Saturday at 5 Eastern on NBC.
You know that show, Frasier? The one about the two brothers who are psychiatrists. And they're always drinking cappuccinos and lattes. And the younger brother is always pining away for the English housekeeper. You know that show? Well, this guy's on the same network. NASCAR is coming to NBC and TNT this July. For all your sports news, log on to NBCI.com/NBC Sports.
Welcome back to our Morgan Stanley point of the day. And this remarkable point in the third set shows the best of both Agassi and Melogeni. Incredible court coverage, and it's Agassi who finishes it off. Melogeni aided in the tear by 2 afterwards, but Agassi won the point, won the set, and now Agassi trying to close in on the finish line. Serving at 3-2, 15 love. Let me down there because I love when he hits that shot. I'm going to blame that one on the wind because just couldn't time it correctly. He's getting a little nervous himself. Getting darker, getting late out there. He wants this thing over and done with. Real poor footwork there. That's the first thing to go when you get nervous. Your feet start getting heavier and heavier. And Melogeni, who once again, happened the last time Andre said, he's got a couple break points. Like the old Andre's playing awful fast right now. Be careful. Stage 1. Not so happy he's a play court player right now. We saw Roddick do this yesterday. Moves his footing, take a nasty stumble. That's when you got to learn what shots do. Isn't he taking Tai Chi or something so he can learn how to fall better? I'm sure Brazil had a couple hundred professional stuntmen that could teach him that. Sure they could. I would be happy to try to help him out. How does the terrible cheese taste, by the way? To me, horrible.
I'm sure you rolled it in a few times.
I like the red clay, though. There's something cool about it. Get back there.
I wish there were more red clay in America.
Forest Hills, where I played my first tennis match, first tournament at Forest Hills at 9 years old. They had red clay. And they actually had a couple-year period where they played the U.S. Open on clay. 75, 67. Good hustle by both players, and it's Melageni at net with the backhand volley winner.
Back to deuce.
He had it lined up. You could see it. His head was almost turning as he hit it. Caught it a tiny bit late.
Melageni had his chances again. But Agassi holds, and he's now 2 games away. Andre Agassi again in a much tighter battle than those scores would indicate. It has not been an easy walk at all.
Definitely looking a little chilly, but excited that this thing is almost over. It was a cool day in Paris. Some rain, quite a bit of wind. Hope the conditions improve tomorrow.
It's now become a dark evening. Probably about the light that Sampras and Raptors finished in at Wimbledon last summer.
That was a really heady shot from Andre, because it looked like he was going to hit that point with a lot of pace. And he swung that way, but he put about half as much as Melageni expected. He totally fooled it. Now he's
Like the hawk hovering. We'll be back with you with our NBC coverage here of Roland Garros tomorrow at noon Eastern. All the women play tomorrow. Women's round of 16.
And they take Monday off. The men as well. Did you do a shot of the day already? Did you do it?
A shot of the moment.
This is the tennis player's favorite thing. Around the net post and in.
For Melageni's last gasp here. Second serve, break point.
Unbelievable forehand.
Right here, they stand and applaud here in town. Standing ovation. What a fabulous tennis.
It offers 4 tons of hauling capacity. Has 3 rows of seating. And most amazingly, is quite easy to carry. Announcing 0% financing on every single 2001 Lincoln, low lease rates, and Lincoln will even make your first payment. Navigator from Lincoln.
Relax, you got supplemental insurance. What are you talking about? If we get injured in this work, we're covered for things like job pay and other expenses with theft. With what? Plus they pay you cash. Great, huh?
Who does? Aflac, without it, no insurance is complete.
Introducing the Hertz Prestige Collection. Jaguar. Volvo. Lincoln. Land Rover. Part of the new Hertz Prestige Collection. If they're your kinds of cars, Hertz is your kind of car rental company. The Hertz Prestige Collection. In a world of opportunity, how do you find a financial advisor who's right for you? Do you want one who works for the oldest company or the youngest? Do you want one with the fastest growing company or the most deeply rooted in tradition? Or do you simply want one who listens to you like you are the only investor in the world? Raymond James, you first.
It all comes down to one game for the Bucks and the Sixers. Behind Ray Allen, the Bucks forced a sudden death Game 7 showdown. Now the scene shifts back to Philly and Allen Iverson's loud home crowd. A trip to the NBA Finals is on the line. Sunday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, NBC.
Kari Webb's course record 65 grabbed the headlines as she looks to defend her title. The U.S. Women's Open, coming up next on NBC.
Coming up next on NBC, we go right to North Carolina for the U.S. Women's Open Championship. Wonderful scene there during the entire changeover. They stood and roared for the magnificent points and effort put forth by both players. What most Stephen and Parrish would like to see, they'd like to see Andre Agassi finish it and move on.
I'm not sure, though, in this game. I think they want to see Melody break one, hold serve, and then let Agassi win in 5-4. They're loving every minute of it. Mella Jenny has won some more fans.
As if he doesn't have enough already. Just showing everyone what he's made of. Mella Jenny with some sweet feel there. That loves 30. Just before I saw him, Teddy said, I want time to turn back the clock again. And I'll tell you. This guy's looking like he's physically fitter, younger than ever. Next thing you know, he can go with haircut. And for a guy that looks like he's been through a couple of wars today, Miller Jenny who's still out there banging.
I think that standing ovation being a shot of adrenaline. He said, I'm not quite done yet here. Remember the last two times Andre served, he was down 15-4. Melageni couldn't break. Maybe this time. Now that ball was in. They're going to play a let. Drizzle, too. Oh, no. Oh, don't tell me. Come on, Fernando. Dump a few balls.
And there's not much of a rain delay that these players could absorb here and try to continue tonight.
It is coming down. It's coming down now, too. Look at it. You can see it in the screen.
And Andre backing away. There's been a couple of these where it's rained like this for just a moment or two during the course of Saturday. There's the break. Jenny is still alive.
I can't believe this. It's going to be a hailstorm soon. That's the next thing that's going to happen. Let's see if they keep this thing going. So far, Mike Morrissey has not called a halt.
We're going to need a crowbar, I think, to get Agassi off the court right now. He does not want to give up any part of his day off.
No, and Melageni showing no signs of wanting to stop play. That's somewhat surprising. Dividends there.
After drop, now taking cover as most are in the stands. The end of a long day of tennis, most of which has been played under threatening skies.
2 points away. Agassi in the fourth round.
Jennifer Capriati.
Football. There was a football. Oh. This guy wants the match over. It's not 15-30. Love 30-second serve.
It's on the edge. 3 match points for Agassi. Then Jennifer Capriati, Serena Williams, Megan Shaughnessy, All-American Women Advance. Martina Hingis did as well.
Remember I told you that Randall Connors match where it was pouring, they're still playing? You thought I was kidding.
This is it?
It was coming down pretty good, and they're still playing out there. That can't be done any other, so I get to the 2 more match points.
And the cold and the wet of Andre Agassi survives. And Agassi moves on to the round of 16. He'll be the semifinalist from last year, Franco Solari. We hope you join us again tomorrow here in Paris. The French Open continues. All the women in action, including Jennifer Capriati, Serena Williams, and Martina Hingis tomorrow at noon Eastern here on NBC. Stay tuned. Coming up next, third round coverage, the U.S. Women's Open Championship. A jubilant Andre Agassi in the rain in Paris. For John McEnroe, Chris Everett, and Bud Collins, I'm Ted Robinson saying so long from Paris.
There's only one show
I call it miniature bowling.
that won the People's Choice Award for Favorite New Comedy.
I'm still working out the kinks.
And this week, we're giving you a chance to see Ed on Tuesday at 10, 9 Central.
Right.
Discover the show that took America by storm on a special night. Ed, NBC Tuesday at 10, 9 Central.
Hi, it's me, Mikey, from Regency Windows and Siding. Guess what? You asked for it, you got it. $229 for any size double hung, completely installed.
Backed by popular demand, it's our energy-efficient double hung, completely installed for an incredible $229. Look, it tilts in for easy cleaning, never needs painting, also includes screens, locks, a lifetime warranty, plus 12 months same as cash.
You asked for it, only $229.
So call Regency Windows today.
I'm going to save you a lot of money.
As a wildlife officer, outdoor skills specialist, I do wildlife law enforcement. I do a lot of education. It's very rewarding.
He knows part of our news every night because his community is our community.
It makes me know that, my area is important too. It's not just big city stuff.
If we're going to be news that's more local, we need to understand more than local news.
We need to understand the people who watch it.
Channel 3 News. News that's more local.
It was on this same hallowed golfing ground 5 years ago, amid the Carolina Pines, where she wrote her own history at the first Open at Pine Needles, where Annika Sorenstam found herself in one of her now infamous zones. With machine-like precision seldom ever seen, women's golf had found a new dominator and a back-to-back U.S. Women's Open champion. But we haven't seen anything like this year. The first ever Mrs. 59, and a renewed focus to reclaim her #1 status. 4 straight victories, 5 in all, and with the season's first major in her pocket, it was time to get back to open business. But dare she think this would be easy, because even Annika knew who would be lurking among the pines, waiting for her chance to steal back the show. After all, until the title is taken, it still belongs to Kari Webb. And she seems to have drawn a line in the sandhills of North Carolina, with their greatest championship at stake. NBC Sports and the United States Golf Association present a USGA National Championship. Today, it's the third round of the U.S. Women's Open. And after a rainy Friday washed out most of yesterday's second round, it's been a welcome sight today. Some of that famous Carolina blue sky is back on a busy Saturday at Pine Needles Lodge and Golf Club in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Legendary golfing landscape created by Donald Ross, the master designer who made his home here in the Pinehurst area for so many years. And we mentioned a busy day. More than 100 golfers arrived at the course in the pre-dawn hours today to complete their second rounds. The cut has been made, so the final group is just moments away from teeing off in its third round of this championship. And in that final group, there she is, the defending champion, Kari Webb, who hasn't struck a competitive shot in now 26 hours. Talk about an apparent advantage, while the vast majority of the contenders were at the course all day yesterday and then up very early, finishing their rounds today, beginning at 7 a.m. Kari certainly should be well rested. We'll see if it's a factor as the day goes on. In the meantime, the woman who wrestles the #1 player in the world status away from her off to a great start today. Annika Sorenstam began her third round at +2, but she's birdied 2 of the first 3 holes, birdied the first, and then that birdie at the third. So Sorenstam, who began the day 7 shots behind Kari Webb, has pulled to within 5 after her first 3 holes of the day. As we look at the current third round leaderboard, there is Kari Webb after that stellar 65 yesterday. One of just 3 players under par as we head to the third round, along with the first round leader, A.J. Eathorn, winless from Canada at 2 under, and the champion from Black Wolf Run back in 98, Sayri Pak, at 1 under par. They all play together, and then Annika Sorenstam there at even par, 2 under on a round today, within 5 of Webb. Julie Inkster, who played with Kari Webb yesterday, also had a chance to rest, get away from the golf course, and will begin her third round. In fact, is just out there. And then you see some of the other names. Meg Mallon, who's been an open fixture in this championship at +1. And some of the other players, 60 players in this field of 150 made the 36-hole cut. Exactly 60. It fell at +6. As you see Dottie Pepper there, +3 through 5 holes of her third round. Allison Nicholas, the winner at Pumpkin Ridge back in 97.
The 1998 U.S. Women's Open champion, Sayri Pak.
And the announcement at the first tee, announcing Sayri Pak, who will play first here. Sayri 69 and 70 in her first 2 rounds. She played 16 holes already today to get to 1 under. Even round of 70 in her second round. Bright sunshine out here in the southeast. Today, a welcome sight after the rain yesterday.
Tee shot going down the very right-hand side of the fairway. Looks to be in good shape.
Par 5.
From British Columbia, Canada, A.J. Eathorn.
Here is A.J., who played 14 holes today. Again, she was the first-round co-leader with Cindy Thick-Courier after that beautiful opening round of 67, where her putter really saved her. It was a scrambling round, but she even came back with a 71 in the second round to earn this group the final spot.
Tee shot right down the right center, drawing slightly. Well hit.
And from Australia, the 2000 U.S. Women's Open champion, Kari Webb.
And you see that 65, it was an incredible, flawless, bogey-free round. It equaled the 5th best score ever shot in the United States Women's Open. And again, it has been more than 26 hours since Kari Webb was last on the golf course hitting competitive shots. Let's see if it's an advantage today.
Right down the center of the fairway. Good opening swing.
And Webb is in good shape at the opening hole, the par 5, 481 yards. The player of the year, the last 2 years, hoping to win back-to-back Open titles. Webb at 5 under par, playing with Eathorn and Pak. So we finally begin the third round on this Saturday, Johnny, as you have a chance to look over the leaders there. Kari Webb, with all that rest, seemingly would have an advantage.
You would think so, but she has a little tiny bit of rust, but that was an advantage not being out all day yesterday and then having to get up so early just the way you documented. But if you look at the leaderboard, it's, so predictable as to really, if we were handicapping the players coming in, you would look at Sorenstam as being obviously the best player in the world right now, with Kari Webb right at her heels. Of course, Kari's leading, and then you got Sayri Pak, who's the 3rd best player in the world. She's sitting there at 3rd place, and then you'd have to throw in Julie Inkster, who's so tough in big competition. So, of course, she's tied for 4th. So the bottom line is the top players have come to the top. Kari Webb is sort of looking for a win. It's a heck of one to look for. This is by far the biggest championship in women's golf. When you look at the men's tour, it's more cloudy on to which one. Sort of depends who you talk to, but this one, the Women's U.S. Open, is the granddaddy of them all. And so it's sort of tough to get your first one on U.S. soil to get that one, but Kari Webb's got the kind of game, and the first couple holes are going to show a lot. I think whether or not waiting that long made her a little bit nervous, but she's hit a good drive right down number 1.
probably going to make birdie there. It's a good chance of it. And we're going to see a variety of shots on this Donald Ross golf course with those signature humpback greens and all the different shots they have to play. Our course reporters, we welcome Roger Maltby with us on this NBC weekend, along with Kay Cockrell and Jane Crafter on the ground, Jimmy Roberts, and Hannah Storm also providing some coverage. And David Fay, Executive Director of the United States Golf Association, checking in with him from time to time, as always. Just a beautiful part of this country, the sand hills of North Carolina, as we go out to the first green, the par 5 out there. Sophie Gustafson, who shot a 66 in the second round at even par, and Jane Crafter is with this second-to-last threesome.
Indeed, Dan, thank you. Yes, Sophie has about 18 feet here on this first green. The hole today is cut on a little knoll in the right front of the green. Very treacherous little hole location. I see this putt, Johnny, really going to feed down to a right. It's going to depend. I think if she gets it started on the wrong side of the knoll, it could go off the other way. Very tricky putt.
And quite fast, huh?
I would think so, yes. You don't really want to be above the hole here.
Sophie, in her third year on the U.S. Tour, has 3 wins. Picked up 5 wins on the European Tour and having a great year, 4th on the money list. Yeah, if you're looking for a dark horse, I really believe that she's the one that's playing the best golf of the players that most people don't know. She's played a lot of golf already today, 18 holes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a marathon 36-hole day for her as we go to the par 3 fifth. And with this group is Kay Cockrell. Kay?
Annika last hit in this group, coming off a bogey at the 4th. She hit her tee ball into the left trees, had to punch out, hit it on the green, and 2-putt for a bogey.
Very unusual for Annika to hit it in the rough, let alone the trees. She's number 1 in greens and regulation, and also number 1 in driving accuracy. So that was uncharacteristically Annika in the trees. How's this look, Kay?
Going right towards the center of the green, Johnny. Well placed.
Pretty good distance control. Just past the hole. Leaves herself a slicing putt. Annika has dropped to 6 shots again behind the leader, Kari Webb. And Webb is going to lay up here with her second shot to the opening par 5. She could have hit it down in the neck, but it gets much narrower down near the green. She's laying it where it's wider. Leaves herself a full wedge that she can spin. And up ahead to the green, Julie Inkster for birdie.
Oh, this is the kind of putt she really should make, I think, heading straight up the hill. I think a misread there, Johnny.
Sometimes first hole you're got a few butterflies that are a little hyperactive, but...
I think you're right. Even Julie, who's played in many USGA events, I'm sure she's feeling a few butterflies.
I always feel like the hardest putt to make of the day is probably that first hole. Just amazed me how Jack Nicklaus would make birdie, seems like every time on the first hole, but most people it takes a couple holes to settle down. That's because you kind of know you might set the tone for the rest of the day. And you want to make it count. Yeah, that's true.
Now Kelly Robbins has this putt for bogey. She drove it in a tree on the left-hand side, took an unplayable lie, punched, hit the tree again and punched out, so she's here for 5, putting for 6. Not the kind of start you would want here.
And like Gustafson, Robbins in for a 36-hole marathon today as well. Just moves a little right.
Yeah, never got that one online at all. No, it's a disappointing double bogey.
Especially at an opening par 5. So Robbins falls to +2 on the second easiest hole at Pine Needles, Johnny. Well, let's take a look at the scorecard here at the Great Pine Needles Golf Course. You can see it right here. Donald Roth, 1927, one of his many golf courses. Fairways and tees, Bermuda grass and ryegrass, and also the rougher ryegrass. Greens, bent grass with a little poana creeping in occasionally, 70 bunkers. And you can see the rough there, and the total yardage, 62.56, and that's your first cut there on the left, the intermediate cut of 1 inch, and then over to the primary cut of rough, which is up to about 3.5 inches now. Cut at 3, it's grown out to 3.5. And then the edges of the green, all Pinehurst number 2 have a lot of fall off, not as big as Pinehurst number 2, but 4 or 5 feet down into these lows here. The ball will move off the green about
12 to 15 to 20 feet, depending on which green, and it makes very tricky up and ins.
Now back over at the first, Gustafson for her par to remain even.
Every one of the players missed it right, and that's what happens when you're a little nervous. That left hand sort of locks up sometimes, and you just don't release the putters down the line.
Only Kari Webb had a better second round in this championship than Gustafson did, but that's a bogey for her on the par 5. Sonny Robbins with a double at this opening hole. All that's left to tap in for it, but falling to +2, just like that.
I've got a job to do, so I can't be worried about this.
And ahead to the 6th, par 4, second shot. Getting ready is Kelly Keeney, who has fared very well in this championship over the past couple of years. Seems to have the kind of mental game. Actually, this is Wendy Doolin, who won on the LPGA Tour just a couple of weeks ago. A little bit of a resemblance there to Kelly Keeney.
Similar stature there, and even par. Yeah. Good swing there. Not too similar to Kelly Keeney also.
Won the Champions Classic a couple of weeks ago, and back over to the par 5 first. A.J. Ethorn, second shot. Roger?
After waiting for the green to clear, this is a 3-wood from 242 yards.
Going a little right.
And it is leaking right, John.
Looks like she had enough club.
Well, it's downwind now. The wind has gotten in behind the player. She could have reached.
And over to the 7th, Cindy Big Courier for par. She held a share of the lead with Ethorn after the first round. Up around a 76 in the second round, though, but that nicely holds. She remains +1 on her third round, +4 for the championship. And back over to the first, Sayri Paka to give it a go here, Raj.
I can reach it easily. 220 yards to the hole, only 212 yards to the front of the green.
You can see the strength of her legs. She was a shot putter in high school, and she hit the ball long ways with a lot of carry.
She's hit it solidly. It's going right at the flagstick. It just didn't carry. She must have mishit that ball a little bit. I think she should have carried that ball up further than she did.
A little bit short-sighted with the hole location on the front right. Both those shots really are not as good a position as our leader, Kari Webb, who played a more conservative route.
Well, for more on Kari Webb, we go to Hannah Storm.
Well, Dan, she had a lot of time to kill yesterday, and I spent a lot of time with her here in the interview room, and she told me that one of the unique things about this week is that she came in without any of the pressure that typically accompanies a defending champion because there were so many other stories here. Everybody wanted to talk to 13-year-old Morgan Pressel. They wanted to talk to 8 months pregnant Brenda Corey Keene, and they wanted to talk to Annika Sorenstam. So she's really been Kari Webb out of the spotlight. That's just how she likes it. And she's very, very relaxed, at least yesterday. Now she's had some time to think about things. Not sure how she is today, but as of yesterday, she was doing great.
Yeah, she does not particularly, as Hannah said, enjoy the spotlight, but so maybe this championship was set up perfectly for her as we go over to Annika Sorenstam for birdie at the 5th.
Moves away from her to the right. Start turning right now. Looks good. Oh, Annika.
That close to her third birdie in the first 5 holes. And back to the first and the third shot to the par 5 for Webb. Raj?
85 yards left to the hole, wind from the right and helping slightly. Just the sand wedge, and Johnny, this is the kind of shot you're looking to get pretty close.
You'd think so. She's a little bit nervous. It might show up on this next shot. This one here, I mean.
Well, I was a little surprised at her laying up. She could have reached the green, I think, with her length easily, John, with the wind at her back. But elected to lay up, which I thought was a very conservative start.
I think she likes that 5 option 4, Rod. When you go for the green, you might bring the 6 into the equation if you hit a bad one. So. This might be a little left, huh, Roger?
That is. It's a little bit left to the hole.
Not bad. Safe play. That left for birdie for Kari Webb. 65 yesterday. What's in store today on this Saturday at Pine Needles?
devours rows, dances through corners, and slides effortlessly into your budget. Announcing 0% financing on every single 2001 Lincoln, low lease rates, and Lincoln will even make your first payment. The LS from Lincoln.
I have worked since I was 16. I had all these investments and money in the bank, but I felt like I didn't know where I was going. I have a 10-year-old, so I also have to protect her future. My goal was to protect what I have, but at the same time, make it grow. Now I know where I'm going. My advisor is always there when I need him.
How's that make you feel?
Oh, I feel comfortable. I can sleep well at night.
Every day, new content gets created. But how can you get your hands on it? There's a place where ideas take shape and inspiration gets packaged. Where companies get the dynamic content they need to dramatically impact their websites. From information that moves markets to photos that rock the world every single day. It's Syndicate, the content marketplace. Do you need to make an impact? Syndicate, the I for content.
The U.S. Women's Open is brought to you by Lincoln, American Luxury, by Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and by Prudential Financial, a rock-solid leader in financial services. Choose Prudential Financial to help you grow and protect your wealth. Well, quite a history of USGA championships here at Pine Needles. Girls Junior back in '89, won by Brandy Burton. They've also had the Women's Senior Amateur, and this is the second U.S. Women's Open being staged here. In fact, the Pine Needle staff here, and of course, so impressive that on that final Sunday 5 years ago, the USGA said it was so good, we're going to do it again in 2001. As we go over to the par 5 first, and this third shot for Sari Pak from the familiar Pine Needles, Raj.
Well, it has come to rest in those Pine Needles, and the biggest worry here is that Sari would catch the ball fat and leave it well short of the green. You've got to keep the ball back in her stance, hands well ahead, try to pitch it short of the green if she can, and let it bounce up from the front edge.
Could play it like a bunker shot, but that's a little risky.
She stalled that one.
You see the shoulders on these greens here, instead of hanging up on the collars, there's enough slope away, and with the closely mown cut there, they just roll off the green, so it's very hard to hit greens in regulation, much harder than normal PGA Tour conditions.
Well, Johnny, both Sari Pak and A.J. Eathorn sculled their third shots, and both have found this left greenside bunker. A.J. Eathorn now with a downhill bunker shot with plenty of green to work with, though.
Well, before Eathorn plays, we go to the par 4 second, and Julie Inkster. Jenny?
From 176 yards in the light rough, Julie Inkster to a downhill back left hole location. Well short there.
Back to the first, Eathorn's fourth.
Looks good, Roger. That was beautifully played.
Beautiful play. Jack to Sabre par. And remain all alone in second place at 2 under. I guess we can see now why Kari Webb laid up, Roger.
Yeah. That right side taking its toll.
Well, Kari Webb has learned a thing or two before, or since she's made her debut in this championship. She made it back in '96 right here at Pine Needles, and that her temper got away from her more than a few times. Had a lot of heated discussions with her caddy, and has since matured and settled down nicely. Now, Sari Pak. Good wide stance back into the wind should help it stop quicker, Roger.
It should.
See that backswing she's practicing, that little early set. A lot of risk.
Yeah. That was nice form, wasn't it? Boy, that was really hit well.
And over to the par 4 7th, second shot for Dottie Pepper. Even on a round today. Had a 69 in the second round, so brought it back after the opening round 74. And you can see doing the normal Pepper commentary. Good shot, great distance control on this tough hole. And over to the 6. This for par for Wendy Doolin. And drops it in at 6. And Doolin remains even for the championship, 1 under on her round today, just 5 back. And back over to the first. Kari Webb has an early look at a birdie putt here, Raj.
A little over 12 feet, downhill slightly. We'll move a little bit to her right. Maybe a ball off on the left-hand side. Doesn't break a lot. Maybe 2 balls, depending if she hits it real softly.
And we're looking at the recent champions, Roger. Kari Webb, of course, defending the title she won at the Merit Club last year. Julie Inkster the year before that at Old Waverly. And the incredible 20-hole playoff won by Sayri Pak the year before that. And then the back-to-back titles by Soren Stam. The second coming here at Pine Needles back in '96. But 5 of the last champions, non-Americans, international players in this U.S. Women's Open.
Most of the players have been missing this to the right, Roger. Pencross bent greens. Like I said, there is some power in this on these greens. See if she keeps it up. This really breaks.
So it'll be an opening par for Webb.
That's a very conservative hole, isn't it? That's the par.
And over to the third, the tee shot for Christy Albers, who is, like Brenda Corey Keene, who we saw earlier in this championship, did not make the cut. Christy Albers is 5.5 months pregnant. Even par, shot a 69 in her second round, just 5 back.
Going with a full 9-iron at 133 yards.
Not bad. And I'm sure, being pregnant, she's well rested. Did not have to come back to the golf course today. Posted that 69 before the weather intervened yesterday as we go back to the first. And Pak has this for par.
Pretty straight, Roger, and slow.
Yeah, this is pretty much up the fall line on the green, John. Maybe right center putt, but it's slow. But from here, you're just trying to hit it firmly.
Very important putt, I would think, just for the mindset and everything. Should have hit the green, or possibly hit the green at 2, and now she's struggling for a 5. So that's an important 5. Everybody's missing them right, Roger.
Well, that was pushed.
Yeah, we've seen, in the last 20 minutes, we've seen every putt pushed. Every putt.
So Pak with a bogey at the opening hole, and she is back to even par. And we go ahead to the second. And this is Julie Inkster's third shot after coming up well short. After the second, this is a difficult hole, the third toughest hole this week, and Inkster runs it well by, and that will scoot down Donald Ross's slope in the back bunker. Wow. And back to the first. Keith Thorne for par, remains 2 under, and she remains 3 back of Kari Webb, all alone in second place. Over to the 7th, Dottie Pepper's birdie attempt.
Man, that was a good putt. That could have broke at the end.
Pepper remains at +3. Saturday at Pine Needles, Lodge and Golf Club. Kari Webb opens with a par. The lead remains 3 over A.J. Thorne. A lot of players, including former champion Inkster and Pak, at even.
Okay. Small business software, $500. Coming up. Small business seminar, $300. Small business supplies, $90. Leaving work early to use your reward points, priceless. MasterCard business bonuses let you earn points to use anywhere you see our logo. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I welcome you to Royal Best.
The first game hails from L'Oreal. It is the afterfield.
The 1999 Player of the Year.
Sergio Garcia.
Tom Kite.
Adam Scott. Billy Andre.
Davis Love III. First you hear the accomplishments. Then you hear the names. And then you hear this.
They're all different. But their passion, their dreams, are all the same. That's why State Farm is a proud sponsor of women's sports. Because little girls have big dreams, too.
I swing like a girl. 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 Can you?
Kari Webb, the leader by 3 at the moment in this U.S. Women's Open, and dividing the headlines with Annika Sorenstam before this championship began was the youngest qualifier in the history of this event. And Morgan Pressel, who just turned 13, was more than respectable, even though she didn't make the cut, tutored by her grandfather, Herb Krickstein, who also showed his son Aaron Krickstein the way. And that was a birdie at 12 in the first round for young Morgan, and she finished up nicely at 18. This was her second shot. First round, 77 for Morgan Pressel, who ended it in style, leaving herself that birdie attempt at the 18th. And that was her caddy, Willie McRae, a 68-year-old longtime Pinehurst caddy here, who is caddy for the likes of Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, and on the bag of young Morgan Pressel. First round 77, shot +7. She was disappointed with that. She came back in round 2. Much the same, her round 2 went as round 1 did. Here she is, third shot, 16, saving bogey. Had just 2 holes to finish today to complete her second round, which were the 8th and 9th holes. And again, she finished up strongly. As we show you this par attempt at the 9th. And that was for another round of 77. Again, she did not make the cut, missed it by 8 shots, and she had been using the local caddy, Mr. McRae, all week, but today, for the her final round, the second round, she let her grandfather, the man who didn't even tell her he had entered her on the qualifying until after sending in the application, he was on the bag and got to share in her special moment. And for more on the impact this young teenager has made this week, here's Jimmy Roberts.
Well, Dan, this must be the year of the kid in big-time golf. Already we've seen a high school student named Ty Tryon make more than just a little bit of news in a PGA Tour event, but Ty Tryon was 15 years old. That is positively ancient compared to what we've seen from young Morgan Pressel. Out here, at least at championship events, there's much talk about the importance of Sundays. Well, for Morgan Pressel, up until she got here this week, the importance of Sundays probably had more to do with dessert, at least at this point in her life. It should have. When Morgan Pressel shot 70 in her local qualifier, she was just a kid. She was 12. But of course, that was ancient history. It was a month ago. Now, at a wizened old 13 years of age, she has taken the Open by storm. In this day and age, when the NBA lottery is peppered with high school kids, this is way different. Morgan Pressel is probably too young to earn a living as a babysitter. Come to think of it, she might still need one herself. At 13, Kari Webb said she herself couldn't break 80. Annika Sorenstam claims her own handicap was 63. Yet here was this jaunty little fire plug undaunted by it all. Her Thursday 77 beat more than half the amateurs and 20 pros. She is 13 years old. Did we mention that? She's not supposed to be here. She's supposed to be in science class. But out here, too, there are lessons to be learned. It isn't always so easy.
No, I didn't play too well. I didn't hit the ball well. And just want to play well tomorrow.
If a 16-year-old can play in a PGA Tour event, Why should we think of this as so extraordinary? Because this is the national championship. Because no one this young has ever qualified before. But also because, with a mouthful of metal and a will made of steel, she has shown perspective far beyond her years. You'd be surprised, says the 13-year-old, how far a 3-footer looks in the open. Maybe next week she can go back to acting her age.
Well, Morgan Pressel has been impressive. She says she wants to play college golf at Duke, Johnny. Has made very clear that she wants to go on and play the LPGA Tour. She's focused. She knows what she wants.
She's got a lot of game, really does, and she did a lot of things well. And you could see after the first round how disappointed she was. She expected a lot better than that, even though, it wasn't that bad round. Birdied the last hole, which wasn't bad, but she's got a great future ahead of her.
Well, you've seen the shot set up by our cameras. Second shot for Kari Webb.
You can see this tough second hole after a good drive. She's got the hole location on the middle left. And clinically not just perfect. That looked a lot like yesterday morning when Kari Webb had to go through just one of those 3 weather delays before completing the 65. And earlier on this same par 4 second, this was Inkster for her bogey. And that's a pretty big putt. Even though she drops a shot, she drops just one, the +1. And now Ethorn. Roger
has driven the ball in the primary rough, 156 yards left of the hole, trying to chase the ball down onto the green. Not able to come up just short. Not too bad. Wasn't the best of lives.
And over to the short par 3 third, Katrine Matthew for her birdie. This to get to 1 under. Beautifully dropped in by Matthew, and she moves to 1 under. Albers 2 putted for par earlier to remain at +1, but Matthew now joins 3 others at under par. Only 4 under par in this championship. At the 6th Sorenstam for par. Suddenly, after that 2 birdies in the first 3-hole start, Johnny, a couple of bogeys in the last 3.
A little surprising. Just hit it out of play off the tee twice.
Back to that difficult par 4 second. Thierry Pak, Raj.
The intermediate cutter rough from 155 yards. Downhill slightly, wind from the right, maybe against it ever so slightly. This is an 8-iron.
Choking down on it. Pretty strong player, as we talked about, and that's an amazing flight out of the rough. Just hit some stops.
And over to the 3rd, again, the shortest hole here at Pine Needles, just 133 yards. Julie Inkster, Jane.
And Julie has a 9-iron here. Really want to stay short and right of this hole. Sophie Gustafson's already missed the green to the left. That's a smart play there.
There was a lot of smart play from Julie Inkster, especially in that opening round. She said she didn't feel like she quite had it, but played the right parts of the green and fired a 68. You may have seen that Sherry Turner has joined the 3 other golfers at under par, and this is how she did it at the 6th for birdie. Sherry Turner with back-to-back birdies, her 3rd of the day, now at 1 under. She was 2nd back in 99 and has joined the first page of the leaderboard. Webb at 5 under, Ethorn at 2 under, Turner and Matthew both at 1 under in the most important championship they play, the 56th United States Women's Open, from a great golfing part of the world in the Pinehurst area in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
On TV, everyone can hear you scream. Fear Factor premieres 1 week from Monday on NBC.
What makes a champion is the passion for the game. That's what kept me practicing, always striving for perfection, working to reach the next level. And it's that passion that helped me create the ultimate golf club for the women golfer, to help you enjoy the game as much as I do. I'm Nancy Lopez, and these are my clubs.
Hi,
it's me, Mikey, from Regency Windows and Siding. Guess what? You asked for it, you got it. $229 for any size double hung, completely installed.
Backed by popular demand, it's our energy-efficient double hung, completely installed for an incredible $229. Look, it tilts in for easy cleaning, never needs painting, also includes screens, locks, a lifetime warranty, plus 12-month payments cash.
You asked for it, only $229.
So call Regency Windows today.
I'm going to save you a lot of money. You know, jet skiing is one cool sport, so why let potential danger throw cold water on your fun?
Be safe. Ride smart.
Drinking alcohol and driving a watercraft is bad news.
Boating and booze don't mix.
Taking a water safety course is a great idea, and when it turns overcast, head into shore.
Know the rules. Watch the weather.
Hey, out here, be safe. Don't be sorry.
Boat smart from the start.
Billy Crudup, Mandy Moore, Al Roker, Next Rosie.
Well, next year, the U.S. Women's Open returns to Kansas for the first time since 1955. Faye Crocker of Uruguay won the title by 4 strokes at the Wichita Country Club back in 1955, and at 40 years and 11 months, remains the oldest Women's Open champion ever. She was also the first non-American to win this coveted title. As you look at the leaderboard in the 56th edition, Kari Webb, 3 better than A.J. Thorne. Over at the second, Sayri Pak has a long birdie attempt.
Just inside 30 feet, and this putt will move from right to left.
Roger.
Wow.
That was a real wow. Now a lot left for par for Pak to remain at even par. You can log on to NBCSports.com for all of your golf news and information. It is all at your fingertips at NBCSports.com, the official website of NBC Sports. And back to the short par 3. Julie Inkster has this for birdie, and this would help take some of the sting out of the bogey at the previous hole, Jane.
Oh, it would, Dan, indeed. She's played, as I said, off the tee fairly smart, left it below the hole about 30 feet. Pretty straightforward putt's going to break a little bit to her left. Fairly slow putt because it is a very steeply sloped green. Yeah, tough to get it there with that slope.
Champions of both this championship and the women's amateur, and Julie Inkster among those in that list, along with Babe Zaharias. We go back over to the second, and all alone in second place is this 24-year-old young Canadian, A.J. Thorne. This for birdie to get to 3 under.
Actually, Dan, this is for par. Her second shot came up just short of the green, maybe 8-9 feet, and then really a very poorly played chip shot has left her, gosh, almost 20 feet for par.
Nice putting stroke, though. Very nice stroke for that. Green's a little quicker than it looks, Raj, up
Well,
there.
it is, John, and it runs away from the player front to back, so a little deceiving, I think.
Yep. And over at 15 a moment ago, Mi Hyun Kim for birdie. Mi Hyun Kim in contention at last year's Women's Open on the back 9. Oh, yeah. Just drops it in the side door. And she goes to +4. Well off the pace at the par 4 7th. Second shot for Sorenstam. Playing a little draw shot, as you can see, hooking. See if she played for it. Yes, she did. Now they'll just run underneath the hole. That's a good shot. Back over to the second. Sayri Pak.
Now this now from about 8-9 feet. Going back uphill, but we'll move just a little bit to her right. I'm going to say left edge, inside left edge if she wants to bang it. That's for par.
Oh, that's big. Instead of dropping 2 shots in the first 2 holes, which it easily could have been, Pak rolls in a long
par saver at the second. Remains even, 5 back of Webb. And Webb has had already great success on this hole. This was a part of her back nine in her second round, her third shot just in front of the green. Chipping it up there, just wanted to get it up and down, she said, and all of a sudden it looked really good. And she dropped it in for the unlikely birdie, part of 5 birdies in that round of 65, and we mentioned how good a round it was. Fullest rounds at Pine Needles.
Well, she just saw
this championship.
Just saw the putt on Roger. Should know it.
Yes, and from this angle, John, I don't think much breaking it at all. Certainly inside the hole from here. I think she's more back up the fall line.
Very straight back, almost uncomfortable looking. Just off the mark.
That one there, she'll be thinking about for a while. That one is the kind you should make.
So we go over to the 7th. Sherry Turner drove it in the left rough, so now this is her third shot at this par 4. Again, 3 under in her round today. And that is a nice shot. Has a chance to stay at 1 under. Keep that 3 under round intact and keep her within 4 of Webb. And back over to the 2nd. Thorne for bogey. Roger.
Inside the hole on the left.
Very good stroke there. So Thorne drops her first shot of the day at the 2nd, falls to 1 under, and Webb's lead is 4 over Turner, Matthew, and Thorne.
Every week, on every first tee, on every PGA Tour stop, Daryl's survey asks each tour player what driver is in his bag. Since July of last year, 3 names continue to come up more than any other. TaylorMade, TaylorMade, TaylorMade. The 300 Series. The #1 driver on the PGA Tour.
Information is everywhere. It's that kind of world. But being financially successful isn't about getting information. It's about getting the right information from the right financial advisor. Morgan Stanley. Move your money. Get well connected.
The new economy isn't more high-tech than the old new economy. The new economy is more efficient. It requires scalable inventory, tighter supply chain, and most important, the realization that even the most efficient workforce can't work very well if it doesn't have anything to work on. SAP.
Studies show that man can survive 4 weeks without food, 3 days without water, but only 1 day without golf. Thankfully, the USGA attends to man's most basic need on a daily basis, from writing the rules to testing equipment. After all, people don't merely play golf. They eat, drink, and especially sleep golf.
Excuse me. You can't play in your pajamas here.
I knew that.
Welcome back to the 56 U.S. Women's Open, the first of 13 individual championships conducted by the United States Golf Association. And Kari Webb, the leader by 4. She gets ready to play her tee shot at the par 3 third, just 133 yards.
Wind helping from the right, plays downhill. It's a 9-iron. Hitting it right to left, going right at the flag 6. It's up.
Webb seems dialed in again over at 7. Turner trying to save her par and drops her first shot of the day.
And Annika Sorenstam putted before Turner. Had a pretty good opportunity for birdie and just missed it. Tapped in for par.
So Sorenstam remains at +2, and we go back to the 3rd. And Sayri Pot.
Sayri is
selected a 9-iron as well, a little stronger player. There's plenty of club for Sarah Abel, stronger player than Kari Webb. I would think she might have to take a little bit off of this.
That wind is going what, Roger?
Yeah, it's right to left, John, and maybe even helping slightly.
How's that one?
This one starts more at the center of the green, drawing back just right of the hole.
Beautiful play by Hawk. MetLife limp Snoopy, too. Much better day to cruise the Carolina Blue Skies today than it was yesterday. Complete washout after 2:36 local time, but there it is, the blimp. And Snoopy, too. Beautiful look down at the third, and now it's A.J. Eathorn's turn.
Also a 9-iron. This one turning on the left of the hole at the very left side of the green. No, that'll catch the left side bunker.
That might be in a very bad spot on the side slope, down slope.
Well, we were talking about the weather and how it's improved here, but evidently at the PGA Tour stop, Jack Nicklaus's Muirfield Village Golf Course, the Memorial, they've had another weather delay, so maybe you're getting your golf fix here as we come to you from Southern Pines, North Carolina, the most prestigious, most important, biggest event that the women play, the 56 U.S. Women's Open, and Kari Webb with a 4-shot lead off the power of her 65 yesterday in the second round of this championship. Kari Webb not only trying to win this championship for the second straight year, but trying to wrest away again top golfer in the world honors from Annika Sorenstam, who's just been on a tear this year with 5 wins and 10 starts. And there you see Annika battling from a 7-shot deficit right now.
And that's not insurmountable at all because she has the game to still pull this round out, shooting the high 60s. And Annika, of course, with the pressure on her, she's looking pretty loose right now, but could have her troubles. I don't expect so.
Over to the fourth a moment ago. Katrina Matthew for her par. And she remains at 1 under. And now we're live. Julie Inkster is first to play. Jane?
Yes, Dan, Julie has 138 yards to this hole, located today in the back left portion of the green, very, very close to that back left edge. Important here, Johnny, to carry that first 7 or 8 yards because there is a false front.
A little bit awkward on this upslope to a green you can't see much of.
It is. The wind is helping. She should have a 7 or an 8 iron, I think, here.
Going a little left or right at it?
No, it's right at it.
Looks like it's
a little long, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Rolls down the slope. We go over to the ninth. Second shot at this par 4 for Dottie Pepper.
Well, the 8th, 9th, and 10th holes are the easiest 3 holes in a row out here at Pine Needles, and so you want to take advantage of them if you can. Pepper par number 8. See if she can take advantage of number 9.
Not bad. Will it stay? Drifts a little further away. Those top 10 finishes this year and 11 starts, a total of 8. Only Annika has more.
She's second on the money list with no wins, Dottie is, so she's played a ton of, like you say, top 10s, but hasn't got the big W.
And hasn't got the big W in this major championship as well.
Yep.
Although she does have a couple of major championships, both coming in the Nabisco championship.
Foreign players have won this event 5 out of the last 6 years, so Americans have struggled, except for Julie Inkster.
Well, here is Kelly Keeney. It's a 5th.
Looked like it was going in, didn't it?
Looked like that was going to be a deuce at the par 3. But the 2-time women's amateur champion will settle for a par, and we were mentioning earlier how successful she has been in this championship, especially the last couple of years. 3rd in 99, tied for 6th last year. She has that kind of mentality in these kinds of championships.
I think she could have a smile off with Tiger Woods and win. Yes. Great smile. See that lie? Not too bad.
Eathorn's second shot at the 3rd.
Came way right, way left, and then just sort of scooted it out to the right that went right underneath it.
So now we're live. Roger?
Well, it's just inside 12 feet, and we'll move from left to right. But once it gets in the area, the hole starts running away from the player.
What happened on the tee shot, Roger? It looked long.
Just pulled it, John. Just a full hook.
Yeah.
Back-to-back bogeys for Ether. Back to even par. Over to 5 for birdie. Wendy Ward playing with Kelly Keeney. And Ward drops it in. She is a former U.S. Women's Amateur Champion. And she brings it back to +1, just where she began the day. 2 birdies and 2 bogeys in her first 5 holes.
And she bogeyed 3 and 4, but came back with a birdie at 5. Very nice.
Back over at the 3rd.
Well, she's been leader in greens hit and regulation this week, Roger, and that's a nice stat to have, and she's made it look easy. The first day she didn't really make too many putts, Kari, and then in the second round we saw that chip in, which helped, and then she made a couple 15, 20-footers and just 26 putts, 8 fewer than the day before. So it's been a ball striking performance, much like Annika when she won her 96.
So she's put this one in the right spot. She's putting uphill. Not much break. They try to go a little right, but not much at all.
You mentioned that ball striking performance by Annika in 96 in that championship, Johnny. She missed a total of 5 fairways the entire 4 rounds. That's how on Annika was.
Missed very few greens also. She made it look easy.
Webb remains at 5 under, and we go to the 5th, and off the tee, Katrina Matthew. 174 the yardage.
Yeah, not her best shot, but putting.
And they head to the 9th. Dottie Pepper has this birdie attempt. Birdied the first hole, and since then has played +1 golf.
I guess we can stop commentating right now. She'll take over from here in just a minute.
But she's much more expressive on her approach shot, though, I will say. But
well, if this is close, she'll get something out of it. You can book it. When you get older, you back away more because you get more air time, see?
Oh, is that what she's thinking?
Yeah. She is a grinder.
Good looking putt, but just off the mark. Dottie remains at +3, out in 35, and over to the 5th. Stephanie Keever, what an impressive amateur she has been in this championship. Graduates a couple of weeks from Stanford, low amateur, +1 in her 3rd round today.
What a good-looking setup and swing right on plane, right over her right shoulder with a 5-iron. We'll hopefully see that swing a few more times. That is just about textbook for you young girls out there that want to develop a good swing and setup. If you're a little bit tall, that was as good as it gets right there by Stephanie.
And here's a look at the amateur leaderboard, led by Keever, who will turn pro just after she graduates. Just finished her senior year at Stanford. And back over to the 3rd, puck for birdie.
On a tough start, nothing good really happening. She made the nice par putt on the last hole to keep from going bogey, but first hole was a bit of a nightmare, and that's one of the easiest holes on the golf course, number 3, and let that pass by.
At 16, Natalie Golbis. And you saw her name on that leaderboard. That was just a moment ago. She has been impressive as well. She's at +4. And over at the 4th, 3rd shot, been chipping up that Donald Ross slope. Inkster.
Made it look easy, didn't she? A lot of spin.
She liked it. So many ways to play that shot. With the putter, bump it up with a fairway wood, flop it on, putt it on. I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yep, that's true.
Kari Webb at 5 under. Steady round, 3 straight pars to begin this 3rd round. She's had the most rest of most anybody you see on that leaderboard. 4 better right now than Katrina Matthews. Just 2 players under par for the moment. They're led by the awesome Aussies.
throw everything away and start all over again. To become an e-business. That's what some e-business consultants suggest you do. But Unisys suggests the only thing you throw away is their business card. Unisys, we have a head for e-business.
Introducing the Hertz Prestige Collection. Jaguar. Volvo. Lincoln. Land Rover. Part of the new Hertz Prestige Collection. If they're your kinds of cars, Hertz is your kind of car rental company. The Hertz Prestige Collection.
The romance, the beauty, the world of Ralph Lauren. A new way to shop, just a click away. Polo.com.
Stewart is the 1999 U.S. Open champion. Oh, my. What
Great moments in golf. NBC Sports.
And that is absolutely one of the greatest Open Championships we've seen, occurring just down the road at the famous Pinehurst number 2, and Payne Stewart elected into the World Golf Hall of Fame, rightly so. It's just a special part of the world and a great place to get that championship.
It's just amazing to see him so full of life and such an amazing moment in golf to make those 3 putts he made the last 3 holes, and of course no longer with us. It's very sad, it really is.
But looking forward to the next U.S. Open being staged at Southern Hills. It'll look at some of the players who were sweating it out a little bit, especially Frank Licklider, who gets in by virtue of winning the Kemper Open on Monday, which gets him into the top 10 of the PGA Tour money list. So Licklider is in, and you see some of the players, including Sergio Garcia, who are in via the top 50 world rankings. The USGA has moved it up to the top 50 after being just the top 20 last year in that category. And some notables who have to go out and qualify and that are headed to sectional qualifying next week. They include Fred Couples. Johnny, you underlined his name, but look at Curtis Strange, the back-to-back champion in 88 and 89. Fuzzy Zeller, a former champion. Those gentlemen want to play in an Open again, so they're going to go out and try to qualify their way in.
And that second qualifying is tougher than tough.
That was the birdie putt, well short by Stephanie Keever, struck at the 5th. She said when she came to this championship, she knew she belonged. She had missed the cut in the first 2 U.S. Women's Open, and also played in 96 here. But missed the cut in both of those, but said, I was ready. I feel like I belong this week. And boy, has her play ever exemplified that.
I'm very impressed with her game. Obviously, a very smart young woman, going to Stanford, and has impeccable fundamentals to her swing, which you would expect from someone who's probably had good tutoring and intelligence.
22 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada. Now Katrina Matthew, long birdie attempt, also at the 5th.
Came over the top of her iron shot just a little bit, but had good distance control. And a little bit slow here. See if she can get it there. We've seen so many putts this week come up short, but can't see the hole. But I think it's right about where the pigtail is.
Back to the 4th. This is the second shot for Terry Pot. Roger?
136 yards, steeply uphill, hole cut in the back left portion of the green. Wind at her back, though, so I think that'll offset some of the uphill. This is an 8-iron. Good-looking shot.
A little bit of trickle there, but leaves herself a bit of a slice putt.
Over at the 7th, this is Doolin for birdie, just on the edge.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Traveling as a kid. And Doolin offsets the bogey at the 6, moves back to even par, and over to the 4th, second for Ethorn. That's from 128 yards, and that didn't sound real solid once it up. Just gets up to the front right edge of the green.
Very slow swing. Very smooth. You can see the beautiful bunkering there. Look at the shapes of these bunkers, the creativity. And you got a J on the front right there, and then you got the O. They don't have the HN anywhere.
A couple of apostrophes to the top and bottom of the green.
Yeah.
Starting now from 119 yards. I think the first drive she really caught solid. She flushed this one, John.
Yeah, she's been outdriven the first couple of holes, but not this time. And could be time for her to knock it in there close enough she can't miss it.
Very, very high. Wants it to get up some. Not too bad.
And over to the 5th. This is Keever for her par to remain at +2.
Good stroke. The ball really came off the putter nicely. A lot of authority.
Matthew also made her par at this hole, so Matthew remains at 1 under, and Keever at +2. It is really a magnificent part of the country, Johnny, and we're going to be back here at in the Pinehurst area, famous number 2 down the road for the 2005 U.S. Open. There's just a special magic to it, just a laid-back feel you get here. It's just a good place to relax and golf.
Yeah, it's a lot like the Pebble Beach area and even Hilton Head, even parts of Philadelphia and Pine Barren region. These different areas just seem like they reek with golf. And this area here just got a wonderful... This course is designed so well. The greens are very close to the tees. It's easy to walk. It helps speed up play. Just the right difficulty to host this championship. You don't have to trick it up. It's very fair, which is 3.5 inches of rough. And the trees do their work if you hit a bad shot. And good bunkering, and the greens are not too tough, not too easy.
Over to the 6th, second shot, par 4, Kelly Keeney.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
One. There's a little squeal of delight there.
Nearly moved to 1 under.
That's a bad break right there. That right there was just a few more feet shorter and it would have been stiff, but it just got over that edge.
Par 3, 5th. Inkster, Jane?
Julie has a 5-iron here, 176 yards. 174 yards today, playing downhill. Wind is starting to pick up a little bit out here, Johnny. It's probably blowing about 10 miles an hour. Greens are getting a little firmer.
Our caddy will line her up to see how it looks. He checked her feet, said that looks good. Got to get away from the back of the player's line. Get out of there before she takes the club back. Not bad, not good.
Over at the 4th, Roger.
That was from about 50 feet. A.J. Ethorn, pretty good lag. Left herself about 3 feet.
A bit of a struggle for Ethorn, coming off back-to-back bogeys. And over at the 9th, this is the second shot for Christy Kerr.
We talked about that 8th, 9th, and 10th where you can do some scoring, and she has just birdied the 8th. See if she can do the triple out here, and she might get it. And she has really changed her physique. She's much thinner than she used to be and looks very fit.
Yeah, it was Kerr who finished tied for second at last year's Women's Open, behind this woman, Kari Webb. And again, her putting, Johnny, she's had some opportunities early, just hasn't been able to drop any yet. That was at the first. And then at the second.
That was a good putt there, but she didn't need to hit it outside the hole. And in the third hole, you can see, played a lot of break, and very similar to number 2 on the high side. So, you know, she's got 6 putts through 3 holes, and first round she sort of couldn't get them to go in either, but second round ran the table.
You know, this putt from about 20 feet, so the longest birdie attempt she's had. I think will move to her right, certainly, as it loses speed.
Looks pretty good.
And that's going to get in. The most unlikely of all drops in at the fourth, and Webb has her first birdie of the day to move to 6 under, and the lead is 5. And she likes to see that ball fall in just like anybody else, but she feels like the cup actually widens when they start going in. So maybe that's going to be the case. Look at, she likes it, Roger. She likes it. Ah, yes. Almost as if a relief, as she would have expected to have at least 1 or 2 birdies by now. Oh, one, with the first 4 shots she hit, one wasn't far from average. It's not, wouldn't be great, but that was a bonus, like Roger said. That was the one she didn't expect. Over at the 6th, after that beautiful approach, which Kelly Feeney thought would be closer, coming back up the slope for her birdie. So Feeney has that left to remain at +1. Back over to that final group at the 4th, Sayri Pak. Roger?
And I'd like to move a little bit to say lean left toward the back part of the screen. These greens sound very much like Pinehurst number 2, John. They do tend to roll off on the sides, on all sides. So this one goes towards the back.
Everybody seems to address it the same way. Right hand on first, left hand second. A la Greg Norman.
So Pak is off the mark, and with Webb Wicket making another birdie, she's distanced herself by a handful from the second closest competitor, Katrina Matthews. The only other player now under par besides Webb, who has now moved it to 6 under in search of back-to-back championships in this most prestigious one of all.
Information is everywhere. It's that kind of world. But being financially successful isn't about getting information. It's about getting the right information from the right financial advisor. Morgan Stanley. Move your money. Get well connected.
At Callaway Golf, we've spent years designing drivers with the largest sweet spot possible, so they're more forgiving and easier to hit. Now, the Hawkeye VFT Titanium driver has a 254% larger sweet spot, and that can only mean one thing: 254% more fun. Experience the Hawkeye VFT Titanium driver today and take your game to the limit.
This business is a lot like marriage. With a little work and a lot of love, we've made this place a success together. And that's what partnerships are about, right? I need to be there for each other, no matter what. Of course I supported him when he asked his doctor about Viagra. I'm proud of him because he did it for us.
Ask your doctor about a free sample and call us toll-free to find out how Viagra can work best for you.
We nurture and protect it. We look out for its welfare. We establish rules and instill values. We remember its infancy and marvel at its growth. But we also plan for its future, like any devoted parent. True, the USGA didn't give birth to golf, but for more than 100 years, we've been its legal guardian.
Annika Sorenstam, second shot at the 9th. She finds herself now 9 shots behind Webb.
Coming off a very bad 3-putt from just 6 feet on the last hole, trying to turn it around. That was a wedge shot.
Sherry Turner, who is 2 under on a round today, even, is next.
And Turner's definitely playing with the most confidence in this group. She is striking the ball very well. Positioned herself pretty well on the greens and has had 3 birdies and 1 bogey. She absolutely bombed a drive down here, just has a little teeny wedge left and try to land this about 110 yards.
Just a smooth pitching wedge?
Just a little one, Johnny.
Well, Turner's 2 under round, the best one going right now. And over at the 5th, Julie Inkster with a long birdie attempt.
And Dan, this putt's about 45, 50 feet. very deceptive pace-wise. It looks very fast, but it's really not as fast as it looks. It was good judgment there by Julie.
That is going to be a good two-putt for Inkster to remain at +1. Julie at age 40 just continues to be so competitive in these major championships, especially these major championships. You kind of see her interest peak up a little bit. In fact, 3 of her last 7 wins have been majors. Over at the 10th, the shorter of the 2 par 5s. This is an eagle attempt for Dottie Pepper.
Here, hitting it very softly. It's a quick putt, hooking all the way. Good distance control for a nice birdie. Settles in a little Joanna mark there.
As you look at Dottie Pepper, and again, the earnings this year, second on the money list, not a win for Dottie, and that is really what drives her. But still a very solid year. Over at the 7th, Yuri Fudo. Even par, 6 back, 24-year-old from Japan, the leading money winner on the 2000 Japanese LPGA Tour with 8 wins and 27 starts. She is a player over there, and right now is within 6 of Webb's lead. This is her first U.S. Women's Open. Pretty good stroke. Ran it by a little bit. Fudo had a 68 after her opening round 73 to make her presence known, and is currently working on a 1-under round today, trying to keep it intact with that par at 7. Fudo's got it, and we'll remind you that tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Time, the French Open continues here on NBC. You'll see world number 1 Martina Hingis as she chases the only Grand Slam title that has eluded her, plus American favorites Serena Williams, Jennifer Capriati, also a part of the action. Don't miss the French Open tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern Time on NBC. And while we have a moment, little ticket information for next year's championship headed to Prairie Dunes Country Club in Hutchinson, Kansas. You see the number to call, or you can log on to the Prairie Dunes website. Of course, designed by Perry Maxwell, who also happens to be the architect of the upcoming U.S. Men's Open Championship coming up at Southern Hills in Tulsa a little bit later on. We'll be there in a couple of weeks for the Men's Championship. In the meantime, the Women's Open being led by 5 by Kari Webb. Johnny, with Kari Webb looking like she's on again today, the rest of this field better step on the accelerator a little bit here and not let her get away from her.
Well, it's her championship right now. I don't see anybody getting actually the 600 but Kari Webb, so it's up to Kari Webb. If she stays around there, she's probably going to win this championship. It's just not that easy a course. There aren't that many birdie opportunities, and there's plenty of bogey, potentially bogey holes, you know, so you got to be really careful. Even par is a great score.
Sorenstam for her birdie at the 9th.
Uphill putt, little left to right.
Sorenstam 9 shots behind. She did come back and win a tournament earlier this year, coming back from a miraculous 10 shots to keep her winning streak alive. But here in the Open and here with Kari Webb playing so well, that is a huge order for even Annika Sorenstam, who's just been most impressive this year. Well, she's been employing an interesting practice technique this week, Johnny. That's for caddy, and this is what they've been doing on the practice tee. Annika gets a wedge, and the caddy gets out there about 80, 100 yards, and with a baseball glove, that is Terry McNamara.
Well, the caddies used to do that. We used to have to hit our own balls, bring our own practice bag with us, and the caddies used to catch them in a towel, which is even more daring. But a few other players, the caddies would bring a glove, and
Willie Mays.
I think it puts a little pressure on Annika. Puts pressure on Annika to be responsible for her shots a little bit more, to see if she can hit it without him taking a step. And it's sort of fun for the caddy, too.
So here's the leader by 5, Kari Webb on the tee at the 5th. Par 3 again, 174.
Found the wind down and to the right. Hole cut on the right side of the green, just about midway back. She's got a 6-iron out.
And with the wind as it's blowing now, I believe that can cover this distance rather easily. Pretty good breeze now, John.
It's, when you have trees like this, you have one wind blowing up here, let's say, and then you got low pressure, and sometimes it fills out and goes back out again. So you get the drafting effect in these pine trees. It's a little tricky when you hit it under the pines. It can be the opposite of what it is above the pines.
We're going to have you forecast the weather now on the tour.
Yeah, actually,
That's that illustration.
From the forecast I get every week, it would be very easy to do that.
Well, Webb's got another green in regulation. We go to the 9th, and Turner has this for birdie to join Matthew and Webb as the only players under par. Turner will remain at even as we go back to the 5th. Siri Pot's turn, Raj.
And this is 6 iron as well. Wind a little calmer now than it was when Kari Webb struck her shot. Now this was chunked. That's solid there.
That will roll back down off the putting surface. I don't even know if it made the putting surface.
It didn't. It's in the front fringe. It never got up onto the surface of the green, Dan.
Well, A.J. Thorne Rogers been struggling a little bit. This is quite a threesome to be in alongside Sari Pak, a former champion, and Kari Webb, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And she has selected a 6 iron as well. She's off to a bit of a nervous start, really, I would think. But this is a little bit of a tough pairing for her. And this left out to the right of the green. Got to get up as well.
It is a little uncharted territory for Ethorn, just 24 years old in her 3rd year out here on the tour. 2-time All-American out of New Mexico State, playing with a couple of big hitters on the LPGA Tour, Sari Pak and Kari Webb, especially Webb, who is 1 under early in her round in search of back-to-back titles. 3rd round of the 56th U.S. Women's Open Championship. Back to Southern Pines, North Carolina, right after this.
I know what your problem is. Sometimes you have to hit it long, and sometimes you have to stick it on the green. Seems like you need a different ball for every shot.
Yeah, actually, all you need is this.
Top Flight XL 2000. Titanium in the cover for explosive distance and tungsten in the core for amazing soft feel.
You won't be needing all these anymore. Have you seen my car keys?
Top Flight XL 2000. Explosive distance, amazing soft feel.
Golf socks, $14. Golf shoes, $105. Designer golf slacks, $80. Entertaining your clients, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, sponsor of the PGA Tour, and accepted for golf outings most everywhere.
It offers 4 tons of hauling capacity. Has 3 rows of seating. And most amazingly, it's quite easy to carry. Announcing 0% financing on every single 2001 Lincoln, low lease rates, and Lincoln will even make your first payment. Navigator from Lincoln.
The U.S. Women's Open is brought to you by Morgan Stanley, formerly Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money, get well connected. By TaylorMade Golf. For every player, there is a club. And by Williams. Energy, communications, leadership. What you'd say. This great golf course designed in 1928 by Donald Ross. A beautiful look down from the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2, teaming up with us again this weekend, providing you with this bird's eye view of the action today. capable of tracking the golf ball in flight from an altitude of 1,200 feet. It is a great perspective, especially up there in the famous blue Carolina sky. To the 18th, Pat Hurst, and she's got to have some good vibes from the first round. Not a lot was going right with her golf round until she took this second shot to 18 on Thursday.
Well, she leads the tour in birdies this year with 172, not counting the Eagles. And watch this shot.
And listen to her.
I don't know.
Now we're live. Second shot on the way for Hurst.
Playing a little draw shot. And gets a very unusual little hop. A lot of spin she put on it. Hits into that bank and just stops on a dime.
Can't ask that much from the golfing gods. Even here in the Pinehurst area. Second shot for Julie Inkster. It's a par 4 6th. Julie, 3 straight pars after that bogey at the second, which dropped her to +1.
Tied for 6th right now.
Well, there's a beautiful shot. Maybe she can get back on a birdie roll, get it back to even par. Inkster, who tied that scoring record a couple of years ago at Old Waverly, 16 under, Johnny. I mean, she golfed her ball that week, but the golf course was not near as tough as we've seen the last year or so.
They should have called it the Big Easy, being not that far from New Orleans, because it was easy.
Well, the weather never really quite cooperated. The rough never got up, and there were a lot of lower scores than what we're used to seeing in these championships. As we get you back over to the 5th, and after coming up well short of the green, Sari Pak, long stroke coming up here for her second, Raj.
Has selected a putter in this from about 50 feet. And again, another crown green. This uphill most of the way, then it starts to level out in the area of the hole, and then actually runs away in the back part of the green. It's a difficult putt to judge the speed.
Real solid wrap.
And you can see paying the price. Her approach putts and chips has not been good so far.
Over at the 9th. Second shot for Meg Mallon. She might have fared a little bit better in her third round. After the second round, 70. She had to complete 16 holes in her early morning today, and she's at +2 in her round today, +4 for the championship.
And she birdied the first hole out of the blocks to get to +1, and then since then made 3 bogeys. So again, 8, 9, and 10 is the area of the golf course that you want to somehow start taking advantage of, and she does not do that with that approach shot, even though it's makeable, I guess. But you can look, it's over the hill, down off the green, a la Pinehurst, down the hill.
And that will hang there.
Yes.
Barely.
Yep. Pretty good looking shot. Didn't hit the green.
Over at 15, this is Marcy Newton. This is the reigning U.S. Women's Amateur Champion out of the University of North Carolina. Had a chance to talk to her coach this week, Sally Austin, who said she is the most natural swinger of the golf club that I have ever had. And her tenure at Chapel Hill, also the 95 U.S. Girls Junior Champion, and one of the few amateurs.
Her nickname is Fig.
Well, maybe it is now. I want a 6 to win the U.S. Amateur and the Girls Junior Champion. When
Is not break. Oh, that was a good looking putt. Hit it on the left edge. Kept expecting it to just drip a little to the right.
Finished 23rd at the Q School. Rookie out here. And back over to the 5th. This is a birdie attempt. This was made just a moment ago by Webb.
She hit that putt way out on the toe of the putter, maybe on purpose, but she didn't address it on the toe, so I think she just, I guess, did not make a good strike. That's why it came up short.
Rolls that long birdie putt in at the 4th. Thought she might get some confidence going, and then makes that rather tentative-looking stroke on the 5th. But the lead is 5 over Katrina Matthew. And back over to the 18th. This was the 3rd by Pat Hurst a moment ago. And that is her 9th hole. And now we're live. This is Golbus for birdie, and if this rolls in, she ties Keeber for low amateur.
A lot of cross-handed putting on in this Open Championship. Seems like almost half the players do it.
Golbus just finished her freshman year at the University of Arizona, just 18 years old. There are a lot of good, solid young players in women's golf coming up, as evidenced by the number of amateurs who made the cut here, Johnny. And they're not just making the cut; they're shooting some pretty good scores on some difficult golf courses.
And your alma mater, Arizona, pretty tough in the men's. They're playing right now. Ricky Barnes is on fire, their #1 player.
Good-looking logo there, isn't he? Back over to the fifth. Harry Pock. You give me an opening, Johnny, I can run right through.
There you go.
So Pock putting a lot of pressure on this putting stroke early. Sooner or later, you put that much pressure on it, Johnny.
She's hitting those putts outside the hole. She doesn't need to do that.
Well, let's rejoin Jimmy Roberts.
Dan, thanks very much. And the decision that the world of golf has waited 3 years for was finally handed down this week. Casey Martin can keep his cart and ride. The Supreme Court says so by a score of 7-2. But the decision has basically turned the tables in the world of golf, whereas it used to be that so many people looked at Casey Martin and wondered about his future. Now, many organizations in golf find themselves looking in the mirror and wondering about their own future as a result of the decision. Specifically, 2 organizations represented here this week, the United States Golf Association and the LPGA. It was a huge national story, immediately resonating far beyond the narrow fields of sport.
Conclusive this morning, a victory for Casey Martin, not on the golf course, but in the Supreme Court. In a 7-2 ruling, the High Court said the PGA has to allow the disabled golfer to use a golf cart in tournaments, while his competitors have to walk the course.
The High Court had ruled, but out in the trenches, opinion was still divided.
Actually, I'm excited for Casey that he gets to play golf, and I felt like all along it should be treated as an individual case, and I'm just very happy that they ruled in his favor.
What worries me is just that it opens a can of worms, that a lot of people will want to, get the same ruling.
So after a 3-year legal battle, there may have finally come an answer, but with it, questions too. What would it mean?
We're obviously accepting of the decision. We respect the decision. We're pleased that it is limited to the facts and circumstances specific to Casey Martin, and that it relates to circumstances where someone is precluded from walking and competing at the highest level, as opposed to someone merely being uncomfortable or finding it difficult to walk and compete at the highest levels.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. And we're now joined on the 18th hour by the executive director of the USGA, David Fay. And I know, like the rest of the golfing organizations around the world have somewhat adopted, this is going to be, as you have said already, somewhat of a case-by-case situation as far as you're concerned.
Well, that's right, Dan. First of all, I think the ADA is one of the best things that the American Congress has done in the last 20 years. I think everyone would agree with that. And we respect the decision that the court made. Casey now has his cart, but now what? What do we do with the rest of the players? We have 30,000 entrants in 11 championships that require walking. We're going to have to handle it on a case-by-case basis. The opinion did not provide us with a roadmap on how to deal with future cases, and indeed the statute doesn't really provide a roadmap. And so I think we have to get together with the other organizations in golf. Hopefully we'll get a consistent policy. And I suspect at the end we'll probably have to form some kind of a medical commission. Let's face it, golf administrators like myself, I can't pronounce most of these, let alone interpret the severity of them.
So you're envisioning getting a lot more requests just because of the Casey Martin decision that went in his favor, aren't you?
I would think so, just because of the numbers that we deal with, 30,000 versus Casey is an extraordinary athlete. And I suspect that you won't find many players on the at that level who will be trying to get a card either on the buy.com or the PGA Tour.
I think most players, coming from a player standpoint, they don't want to have to resort to playing in a cart because it's been a spectacle for Casey. I don't think it's been easy for him. I hope this, like Tiger Woods says, frees up his career a little bit to concentrate on the golf. But, you know, even a guy like myself who's been operated 5 times on my legs, one of the main reasons why I retired is because my legs would hurt me so bad, you know, on the back nines and the end of the rounds and taking the Advil and stuff. And so basically I ended my career very early.
Oh, are you going to write him?
No. Gets back to a little bit of the pride factor, but I mean, like David said, where do you draw the line in the sand, though? You know, how bad do you have to be to qualify?
When you get that letter with a return address from Napa, California, Jay Miller, you'll know.
Maybe the dog will have eaten it.
Thank you, David. Looking forward to more of your comments throughout this championship. Just a moment ago at the par 5 10th, Christy Kerr for birdie. And she has an excellent start to her back 9. A birdie at the 10th, back to even. And at the 6th, Julie Inkster has this for birdie. So Inkster remains at +1, well off the pace being set by Kari Webb. 1 under in her 3rd round of this U.S. Women's Open.
This week, a special Tuesday Ed, winner of the People's Choice Award for Favorite New Comedy. A special Tuesday Ed, NBC Tuesday at 10, 9 Central.
Every NBC Monday, 6 real people will face 3 terrifying challenges in a battle of sheer nerve.
These are not your friends. He's your opponent.
They play against their worst fears and against each other.
Whoa, look at this. How many of you want to see Jeanette eat it bad? You think anybody's going to quit?
I'm going to try to make them. This is not the Boy Scouts.
Fear Factor, NBC Monday, 8, 7 Central.
Has your life been devastated by an auto accident? Was there enough insurance to compensate you or your family? I'm Jeff Friedman of Friedman, Damiano, and Smith. Even if your case has been closed for years, because of a recent change in the law, we may be able to reopen your case and recover additional money. At Friedman, Damiano, and Smith, we know your rights, we know the law, and we're always looking for ways to help our clients.
They couldn't be more different. Annika, buttoned up, meticulous, and intense. Freddie, the ultimate natural, loose and laid back. But Sorenstam and Couples also have a great deal in common, including enormous talent and a fierce will to win. They also share an appreciation for fine timepieces. Rolex.
Kleinhans Jewelers in Westlake, your official Rolex jeweler.
Betsy Rawls defeated Joyce Ziske by just 1 shot. Total score 292, 4 over in 1960 at Worcester Country Club in Worcester, Mass. It was the last of her 4 Open Championships. Only she and Mickey Wright have won this title 4 times, being contested for the 2nd time here at Pine Needles Lodge and Golf Club in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Beautiful breeze whispering through the pines here in a beautiful part of the country, Pinehurst.
And you can see the holes how they're just framed by these pines here. It just makes the holes so easy to design that they have that kind of canopy around them.
Back down on that beautiful green carpet at the 6th, the par 4. Roger?
Without Kari Webb on the right-hand side of the fairway, not a particularly good angle at this hole that's cut on the right side of the green. We'll have to play across the edge of a very deep bunker. A short or right miss here, not good. Got to keep the ball left of the hole into the center of the green.
Pretty early in the championship, Roger, to say that it's her championship to win or lose, but you look at the golf course and the position she's in. She's in a nice spot, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And she doesn't make many errors when she gets going well. She just hits a lot of really good quality golf shots. And of course, no better place than the U.S. Open for that. Now this is 7-iron now, playing downhill slightly. And downwind.
First ball right at the flagstick, comes up a little short. Pretty good shot, though.
Real nice. Great golf swing.
And ahead to the par 5 10th. This was the third a moment ago. And you see how much of an elevation that Annika Sorenstam was dealing with here.
She's been in more roughs today than she did the whole championship when she won last time. But a good shot. She has a very good chance to make birdie there, and
she needs it.
She shot 36 on the front nine.
And playing with Annika Sorenstam, the move in this group has been made by Sherry Turner, Kay.
Oh, it sure has. 2 under 33 on the front side, and she came out swinging on the 10th tee, but pulled her drive into that fairway bunker. Had to lay up and hit her third to, well, just inside of 20 feet.
I remember Annika Sorenstam making this putt for Eagle in 96. Same putt.
That was right of great memories for Annika. That was one of the first things she remembered.
Same angle, same length.
Not a whole lot of movement.
Nearly the same result if she would have hit it. Turner, 44 years old. One of the real veterans of this tour in her 18th year from golfing Rich Furman University. 3 wins in her career, all coming in the late 80s. To the 7th, Thinkster's turn out there at the par 4, Jane.
You see that lie in the rough. Going to be a bit of a problem. She's got to muscle it out of there. And she cut it thinly, it sounded like. Just picked it right out of there. That was a clanker. But it's sitting up. Got a nice little last pop and just kicked it up on top of the grass. That's a lot of green to work with. But she did not hit down on that shot, which is what you want to do out of the rough.
Over at the 10th. Big birdie attempt, Kay, here for Annika Sorenstam to try to get something positive going.
Well, it sure is. She had a chance of hitting the green in 2 and just pulled her 4-iron. Pitched it up to this point, a 6.5-footer.
Oh, it looked like it was in, Kay.
Boy, she put some good strokes on balls.
Yeah, I'm looking at there.
That ball.
That ball?
That ball might be pocketed after this hole.
Look at her rankings on the LPGA Tour this year. First rounds under par, first in greens and regulation, tops in driving accuracy. But putting average, Johnny, tied for 90th. Although here on the LPGA Tour, they measure the putting statistic differently than they do on the men's tour.
Yeah, they factor in the greens that you miss with the greens that you hit. So if you're missing a million greens, obviously you're going to have a lot more one putts because you're just on the edge of them. So they factor in both into the same category like they used to on the old stats. So it's a little misleading when you're number one. I remember Tom Watson used to be some years number 1 in greens hit and number 4 in putting, which was impossible unless you just made everything because they used to factor both things in the stats.
This is Cindy Fig-Courier. She had a share of that first-round lead with A.J. Ethorn back on Thursday, +6. As she plays the par 3 13th, the longest par 3, 194.
Nice setup, pretty simple swing, and a very nice result. Just a little under the hole, but it was tracking right on line.
Had a 76 after that 67 to fall back off the pace as we go back over to the 6th. And Sayri Pak, what a championship that was. She turned in at Black Wolf Run on that difficult golf course. She had the putter going then, and today it's been a different story in this third round, Johnny. She's really had to rely on it, but it hasn't come through all the time. That was the par attempt at the first, and then birdie at the third, and another birdie try at the fourth. Par 5.
You can see all the push putts so far, just push, 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 push. 10 putts through 5 holes. And a couple times she looked at her caddy like, nice read, but it wasn't the caddy. She's just leaving that face open at impact. And
you see her caddy. He's the same man as caddy for Annika. In fact, both of her open victories now on the bag of Sayri Pak.
And the caddies on the LPGA Tour really take part in the players' games and lining them up to the green, on the green, reading the putts. They're really heavily used, and a good caddy is invaluable. You can see that another one to the right. Sayri Pak is not even close.
Speaking of caddies, I wonder if Willie McRae picked up anybody after Morgan Pressel.
He was very positive, wasn't he? I liked him. Yeah, she's going to make the cut. I just know it. You know, she's a player. And so that's the kind of caddy you want, somebody that pumps you up, and when you're down, lifts you up, and when you get too excited, calm you down. There's like a tachometer in a car. You don't want it at the top of the red line. You want it right in that yellow zone where you get the most torque and horsepower.
Well, over at the 7th, Julie Inkster's 3rd from the rough. A bad spot. Had a good look at the hole, and didn't seem to be too deep a lie on the rough, but that comes up short. She'll have that to remain at +1, and over to the 6th, Kari Webb. Roger?
Well, just inside 15 feet. And this putt's going to want to move a little bit to Kari's right. Very makeable. Another makeable birdie attempt, John.
Yes, it is. Started outside the hole, coming back. Oh, nice. Can't miss any closer than that.
Over to the par 3 16th, reigning NCAA champion Candy Hanneman, one of the amateurs to make the cut. Just finished her junior year at Duke University.
Let's take a look at this. Oh, man, that's a move, isn't it? She doesn't like it, but 4-iron, but that was a lot of strength in that swing. Just whooped it back. Looked like she must like Nick Price.
Won the women's NCAA title last week, beating Arizona's Lorena Ochoa in a playoff. First team All-American and part of that impressive amateur leaderboard, even for the round today, +6 for the championship. Has a good history as well here in the Pinehurst area. Won the 2000 Women's North and South Amateur, staged at Pinehurst, number 2.
This is an interesting 3-par because it looks dead level, but actually slightly uphill, 183 yards. Many of the players seem to come up short on this hole, which is not a bad spot, actually.
This is Katrine Mills' mark, and Johnny, while we have a moment, there's the hat that you fell in love with in the earlier round.
I'm getting to like it more and more, so. But it seems to be her trademark. Nothing wrong with that. I remember Mr. Lou at the British Open with his little hat, and Sam Snead with his hat, and here's the whole location right there.
Great hat through the years of the championships, Johnny. I think
Michelle McGann, there's a lot of people who have got their handle with the hat, you know. Look at Jesper Parnevik. That's a big part of his image.
Mills' mark off the mark there. And we go back over to Julie Inkster at the 7th. Long par putt remains for her here, James.
Yeah, she's got some work cut out for her here. She's got uphill putt about 25 feet. She'll come a little bit from her right to left. Really needs this to stay at 1 over par. It'd be a heck of a par, Johnny.
Well, everybody just seems to be playing U.S. Open golf, just struggling, hanging on, and then Kari Webb is like every hole is at a birdie now. It's gimme par. Ooh.
Good-looking stroke.
She doesn't make a lot of bad strokes.
Second bogey in 7 holes, though, for Julie Inkster. Drops to +2 for the championship, +2 on a round today. Kari Webb is in cruise control. 1 under on a round today. 6 under for the championship. Katrina Matthew, the only other golfer under par. 3 at even. And a lot of numbers at +2. 8 shots off the pace by Kari Webb.
I have worked since I was 16. I had all these investments and money in the bank, but I felt like I didn't know where I was going. I have a 10-year-old, so I also have to protect her future. My goal was to protect what I have, but at the same time, make it grow. Now I know where I'm going. My advisor is always there when I need him.
How's it make you feel?
Oh, I feel comfortable. I can sleep well at night.
That was great.
Let's play one more.
He's tired.
One more. Come on.
New 1-A-Day Active, the energy-enhancing multivitamin.
Hey, you. You want to play one?
Just one?
One a day. Get active, stay active.
You like golf stats? Here's some stats. Ernie Els has gone from 55th to 7th in total driving. Jeff Sluman, 168 to 52. Larry Nelson, 20 to 2. Different balls, different swings. One thing in common. The 300 series from
A select few have won 2 Memorial tournaments. This year may deliver the first 3-time winner. After victories in '99 and again last year in Ohio, Tiger Woods hopes to continue his recent dominance at Jack's Green Palace. But today, past champions Singh and Azinger look to rekindle their miracle.
We love our music. We love doing music. We love creating music, and we love to sing.
We appreciate our fans all over the world who discovered our music first.
Once you get out on stage, you see those fans going crazy. It's just like, yeah, this is cool. I've learned how powerful music is. It affects people's lives. It moves people. I never dreamed that I would end up where I'm at today. I want it that way. It's just a feeling that you can't really explain. It's such a natural high. Run and hide when you're screaming my name. Alright. Let me tell you now, there are prices to pay. Alright. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, love, what something. It's magic. Alright. All you people get to see how you love the factor of reality. Every time you're down, you can make it right. And that makes you larger than life. Looking at the crowd and seeing body sweat. Come on. Wishing I could thank you in a different way. Come on. All I've got nothing. Jesus, how you love the factor of reality. Every time we're down, you can make it right. And that makes you larger than life. You're the
I want people to feel happy. I want people to feel like if they have any type of problems in their lives, or if there's anything wrong, they can sort of switch on our CD and just forget about things.
When people are driving in their cars, make them forget about the traffic. Sing along, have a good time, forget about your problems. Maybe make somebody remember a loved one, or have a little romantic, intimate dinner, or kiss, or dance, or whatever,
I think that's what happens with people in music. They connect with certain songs.
So many words with a broken heart. It's hard to see in a crazy love. So hard to believe. Walk with me. Light to the light, so soon become. Why victory? I can feel the sun. Your every wish will be done. This tell me the meaning of being lonely. It's the feeling I need to walk with. Tell me why I can't be there where you are. There's something in my heart. Life goes on as it never ends. I don't observe the trend. They never stay. Weather's game, only beauty road to an endless love. There's no control. Are you with me now? You're everywhere. Will be done. They tell me.
Backstreet Boys, Larger Than Life, a look back at the early years, and many more hits on the first ever Backstreet Boys special.
Backstreet Boys, Larger Than Life. Sponsored by Walmart. Always low prices. Always.
here at Walmart. I'm bringing it to you like this. Everything you're looking for is here in the home entertainment department.
They got tons of new releases.
We got the hip-hop, we got the rock.
Prices here are really low.
You can get this, that, whatever. Looks like a CD, smells like a CD, but guess what? It's a DVD. The latest, the newest, the coolest.
Every kind of movie for every kind of person.
Gamers, I hear you out there.
They have great video games here.
Computer games, we got that too. And everyday low prices, what? Walmart's got it going on.
It's not just because of your coat.
Not because of what your friends may think. It's not just because your mother told you or taught to quit. And it's not just because of what your teachers say. When you decide not to smoke,
You don't just do it for other people.
you do it for yourself.
You do it for yourself.
I don't smoke because of me.
Dangerous.
Ooh.
Reckless. But always to be honest.
You might try to kill me.
I'm not going to kill you.
I said we'd try.
A lady. On June 15th, the biggest adventure of the summer begins. Angelina Jolie, Tomb Raider, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, June 15th.
Strength. Everyone expresses it in different ways. Women are no exception. We just tend to be a little more subtle about it. Introducing the Strength Secret Platinum Protection, now in 3 new scents. Genuine, ambition, and optimism. Reflecting your style, your individuality, your intensity. All that strength plus personality sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Secret Platinum Protection. Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
What makes a mom care about things nobody's ever going to see? Remember to feed Daryl. Some moms even have a kind of sixth sense that actually prevents trash disasters. How do they know Glad kitchen bags are the way to go? Is it the tough, dependable plastic, the security of Glad quick-tie flaps, or is it just their natural aversion to disorder? So don't get mad. Moms who know get Glad.
The President of the United States.
This issue doesn't resonate.
The bigger they are, the harder they flub.
Now turn over, she'll powder your...
It's television's funniest moment. When the biggest stars really screw up.
Well, shoot. I am just so lost.
Join host Keith Merritt. All new Funny Club and Screw Up, CBS Thursday. Get ready for action, adventure, and excitement.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
As Hollywood's hottest stars vote for their 100 most thrilling films of all time. See if your list matches theirs. Join host Harrison Ford for the all-new AFI 100 Years, 100 Thrills. Tuesday, June 12th on CBS.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I know what you said to make it right. I'll be there to make you smile. I don't have a fancy car. To you, I want 1,000 miles. I don't.
You guys want to meet the fellas? Start with the youngest member of the group. Make some noise for hometown boys from right here in Tampa Bay. Give it up for Nick Carter. Next up, this is Mike Phillips, and his name is Brian Littrell. Next up, we've got the man who brings all those high falsetto notes to the mix. This is Howie D. And down here on the end, we've got Mr. Sideburns, AJ McLean. And y'all, we can't forget our big bro, Kevin Richardson is in the house.
Don't wanna hear you say, don't wanna hear you say, don't wanna hear you say. Are you worth the time? I can't reach to your heart. When you say that I want it that way,
Deep down inside of me, my fire, the one desire. I can see that you be hurting, but you can't hide it with the light. What do you think you be hurting? What you have is wrong. And promise you forever. But forever's come and gone. Maybe he would say whatever he said to keep you alive.
Take a trip around the world and more hits as Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life continues here on CBS.
Backstreet Boys, Larger Than Life. Sponsored by Venus from Gillette. Reveal the goddess in you.
Introducing Venus from Gillette, the first razor designed to make you feel like a goddess. Protective cushions surround 3 blades for the closest shave ever in just 1 stroke. So close, your skin stays smoother, longer. And that's something all goddesses are entitled to. Now, individually sealed blades are easy to store, easy to change. Venus, reveal the goddess in you.
Everyone loves Shrek.
Thank you very much.
People magazine calls it monstrously clever.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Us Weekly says it's hilarious and brilliant. Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow. Shrek, rated PG, now playing everywhere.
When dinner time feels extraordinarily ordinary, spice things up with Domino's delicious Roma herb crust pizza. Call now. Get the door. It's Domino's. Buy a large one-topping Roma herb crust pizza for $9.99. Get any second pizza for $5.99.
It was cellular, rationing out the minutes, restricting how people use them.
Remember, you have no more email, Mr. Jones.
Something had to be done. People, now there's Sprint PCS Total Digital Connection. All their best features in one simple plan. Nationwide long distance, voice command, and America Online. They're your minutes. Use them how you want.
Freedom!
That's the plan.
Introducing Total Digital Connection, only from Sprint PCS.
Looking cool, Charlie.
Thanks. Hey, what you got there?
Same thing as you, only different.
Milk and cereal bars from General Mills.
You got the milk in there? I got milk in here, so I can eat it on the run.
The nutrition of real milk and cereal, like Honey Nut Cheerios, in a great tasting bar.
If I had time, I'd have a bowl of cereal with you.
You just did.
Milk and cereal bars. Everything but the bowl.
He doesn't know what's out there.
And this kind of thing the government usually gets involved in. No, shouldn't we tell them?
Absolutely not. I know those people.
He doesn't know what's in him.
Who's the man?
No, you're the man.
No, you're the man.
I'm the man.
That's why it'll take a woman
I'm okay.
to save the world.
I think they're moving in.
Well, we were here first.
From the director of Ghostbusters,
That was so hot.
Evolution, rated PG-13, starts Friday, June 8th, everywhere.
This summer, come over to our house for the hottest party in America, Big Brother 2. 12 strangers will live, laugh, and fight together under one roof. But once a week, they'll vote to kick out one of their own. An all-new Big Brother 2 starts Thursday, July 5th on CBS. They live, you watch.
This fall. It's very unusual what's happening. I promise you I'm going to find out why.
Prepare yourself
Dire wolves coming into town like a line has been crossed.
for a whole new breed of drama. Wolf coming to CBS.
Shoot some hoops, tackle some homework, share a laugh. Just a few of the ways you can make a difference in a kid's life when you become a mentor. CBS cares.
I just want to share with you really quickly. There's a lot of people that are watching this on TV, and we want to say thank you for letting us right into your living room. And we want to share with you this song that we have taken all the way around the world, and we want to bring it right to you. This is The Shape of My Heart.
Please try to forgive me. Say don't put out the glow. I'm holding out to Father. Every minute it makes me weaker. You can save me from the man that I become. Oh, yeah, yeah. That does prepare me gently for no, baby, no, baby, no. Just for now, don't bother. If something makes me weaker, you can stay with me. The minute I become, baby, no more things I've done.
Ryan actually was the one that said, you know, how cool would it be to go to all these countries?
We looked at the whole world rather than just focusing on the U.S. or just Europe, one particular country, even South America, Southeast Asia, South Africa, places that we haven't even been before.
Around the world in 100 hours.
ESP around the world.
Be cool. We're going on a plane. This is the plane. We got up on a plane and I just walked in and I was like, oh my God.
This is like a mansion that flies.
Really nice plush couches and a huge television screen.
Magazines, stereo system, the whole 9 yards.
The table sat like 12 or 14 people.
We had a gourmet chef on board.
Eating very, very, very nice meals.
It had like a gigantic king-size bed. Then you go through another corridor and it's a closet. And then another door would be the bathroom with a shower.
It was awesome.
There were so many people there. It was just unbelievable.
A reception like that was kind of what started everything, you know, to be prepared for whatever was to come.
The fans in Australia, they're just really down to earth and really cool, you know what I'm saying? We still have one.
Nick wanted to point out that Nick, me, and Howie are all single. Yeah. It's amazing. It's a great time.
Good morning, how are you? Very good, very good. Top of the morning to you. How you doing? Very well, folks, and welcome to Get Up, our usual tryout.
Cape Town, South Africa was like the least amount of time out on the whole trip. We were there literally about 4.5 hours on the ground. That's a big cat. You listen to him first.
In Rio, from the moment we landed until the moment we left, it was just chaos.
The Latin fans down in South America are just so hungry for our music and stuff like that. I just knew it was going to be crazy. I didn't think it would be that cool. There's no way to explain Rio except it just kept growing and growing as the night went on. And when we found out that there was about 48,000 people standing outside, we ended up doing like a 30 to 40 minute show based upon just the reception that the fans gave us.
It was exciting to come back home to New York.
It was a great homecoming.
It was one hell of a ride.
Overwhelming to know that, we have so many fans all around the world, that just care so much about us and, love our music so much, us as people. As long as we have our fans, we can conquer anything.
It's Ryan, Howie, Kevin, Nick, and AJ as Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life continues here on CBS.
We got wheels. We need a State Farm agent. Guess what? I got one.
Yeah, I got one.
Whoa!
You know I got one. Doc's getting one too. Check it out. This is Rock.
A State Farm agent. You need one.
Now insurance is smooth and simple.
My State Farm agent showed me all about insurance.
I showed mine how to fly.
Find a State Farm agent at statefarm.com.
The most powerful Duracell Ultra ever. With the advanced performance of M3 technology, it's the most powerful alkaline battery in the world.
Extra. It's just gum until you run out.
Had a long summer day. Make up for it with a Blockbuster night. Enjoy your summer nights with a Blockbuster Entertainment Pass. It's an entire month of entertainment. Get 30 DVDs, VHS, and game rentals, even the hottest new releases, for only $30. Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home all summer long.
We have completely different personalities. But one thing we have in common is shopping at Walmart. Yeah. We just go crazy. We're this big,
bag of marbles is split out and we're all over the place. Walmart has great selection. Short shorts and capris and tank tops. We're all wearing these awesome bracelets. We're all wearing different styles. Walmart helps me save so much money. It can't cost less to look this good, you know? Flip-flops. They have perfect, easygoing summer clothes. Definitely. You're walking out with like 10 shopping bags, like, yeah! That's what's cool about Walmart. Yeah.
Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life will continue here on CBS.
CBS Next. In the summer of 1970, four best friends made a promise to always be there for each other. Now that time has come. Brendan Fraser, Melanie Griffith, Rosie O'Donnell, and Demi Moore.
Forgotten how much it helped to have you guys as friends.
Now and then, CBS Next. 6 firefighters trapped in an inferno. My son is trapped in that building. Heroes Under Fire, 48 Hours, Thursday.
Tonight, following the Backstreet Boys. Got it bad for O-Town? Think Justin is hot? Clevelanders aren't the only ones going gaga over these guys. The boy bands rock. Home Team 19 News wanted to know, why do these boys drive you wild? At 11.
People come up and they have a barrier. They're like this. And we try to overcome that.
Blue Oval is a way of treating your customers. Treating your customers the way they should be treated, the way you would want to be treated. That thumbprint means that we're putting our heart and soul into the service of that vehicle.
It's a symbol to show the customer that we've done everything in our power to make sure that their stay at the dealership was the best it could be.
For your Blue Oval certified Ford dealer, call or click Blue Oval.
On the next episode of Seinfeld. Why do they put buttons on a fly? That is one place on my wardrobe I do not need sharp, interlocking metal teeth. It's like a mink trap down there.
The Backstreet Boys talk about life as a boy band.
At 11.
They've got Stupid Patrick's and Tom Cavanaugh tonight on The Late Show.
We decided for this album that we wanted to make a conscious effort to write together again. We went to the Bahamas and we wrote, I think, 7 or 8 songs together. And, it was a good bonding moment for us.
Can you guys believe we've been together for 8 years? Listen, this next song we're going to do for you, all 5 of us wrote together. It's a brand new one off of the Black and Blue CD. We hope you enjoy it. This is called...
I know that I can't believe just what the past has brought me to the man I want to be. And I know that we have had some times that we can't forget. it's a struggle, 'cause we have so far to go. I know we've changed, but change can be so good. So let's not forget why it's understood. Look where we are and what we've been through.
What you got? Then things are getting better, and you'll soon be on its way. Remember those days that we would sing at the drop of a dime. Way back when nothing else mattered. Oh, I know we've changed, but they can be so good. Oh, so let's not forget why it's understood. That where we are, sharing our dreams. It goes on and on every day. So here we are, and we're always stand together. We all, you know, we all it all. To you, yeah. It keeps on. Time, where we are, and what we've been through, baby. Goes on and on, goes on and on every day. Time is what it is. Come with me. Come with me. Thank you, LA. You guys are good at doing stuff too. Thank you.
Live from Los Angeles Staples Center, Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life continues right here on CBS.
Backstreet Boys, Larger Than Life, sponsored by Glad Ovenware. Don't get mad, get glad.
Joan Rivers is mad.
Mad? Look at this mess. They love me when I cook, then leave me to clean up. I need help.
Joan, you need new Glad ovenware. Dirty, reusable baking pans that go from oven to table to freezer with only one thing to clean.
Only one?
Only one.
Perfect. I get to keep this ovenware right.
Oh, yes. Don't get mad.
Here we talk.
Get Glad. New Glad ovenware baking pans.
My name's Hollis. I work at the Walmart Home Entertainment Department. The big news is that Walmart now has DVD players and DVD movies. I bet you didn't know that. Watching DVD is like seeing your favorite movie for the very first time. It's a totally clean picture. You gotta see this. You want to hear something to rattle your house. Boom! DVD sound. Action, comics, new releases. If there's a movie you want to see, we probably have it. We've got great brands of DVD players. Walmart's got everyday low prices right here in the Home Entertainment Department. If I can afford them, then anybody can afford them.
When I went a day with Christina Aguilera on the set of her new video, I knew we'd hit it off right away.
Hi, Teddy. You ready to get started?
Right. And up. Hold on. Dump it out.
I really impressed her.
Hey, you having a good time?
Pop the top of a Coke from specially marked bottles or canned multi-packs this summer, and you could win a chance to meet Christina Aguilera. Why not you? Why not now?
I think she may be in love with me.
Olive loaf, 60.
Squid's awesome.
Toast flake pierogi.
Some odd choices have been appearing on some value menus.
The box nuts are nice.
You like melon bowl?
Grilled cheese.
But not at Wendy's. Our super value menu has hot and juicy junior bacon cheeseburgers, crispy chicken nuggets, 2 fresh salads, all the things you really love for just 99 cents each.
Fish balls, meatballs.
The super value menu, part of Wendy's summer of 99 cents. And now Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great even late.
See you later.
Show off your curls. Say goodbye to dry, frizzy hair with new Curl V by L'Oreal Paris. Deeply hydrating shampoos, conditioners, and spray gel for 95% less frizz.
Only Curl V has L'Oreal's Hydra Protein to give your curls the rich moisture they crave without the weight.
So now, curls bounce back with more shape, shine, and definition. New Curl V by L'Oreal Paris for 95% less frizz. So show off your curls and show you're worth it.
A bomber terrorizes Vegas, and their only help could be a good Samaritan or bad news.
Stop right there! Put it down!
CSI, CS Thursday. From the producer that brought you the summer blockbuster movie Pearl Harbor and TV smash hit drama CSI. Now comes television's next great adventure. 11 teams of 2.
Hurry up!
Once around the planet.
Which way do we go?
For a $1 million prize.
Yes!
Ordinary people
You don't do it like you're in New York!
in the most extraordinary event.
Whoa, man!
Hang on. For the amazing race. Coming Wednesdays this fall to CBS.
Oh my God, we're back again! Well, everybody say, wanna be the baby show you how. I gotta kiss you for you better answer me now. And I'm the only one. Yeah, my sexual. Am I everything you need? Better rock your body now, everybody. Am I your original? Am I the only one? You're my sexual. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now, everybody. Rock your body. Yeah, that's right, everybody. Talk about one, baby. God is real. You're gonna be the last to know what it's all about. Let's talk about two. You say the essence of your life. But it eats you up from inside. So, baby, cause I wanna know. I'm telling you, it eats you up from inside. And then you never wanna know. Good God! seen it before anymore. Straight to your superstore. Just don't get off with the lights. You might be giving up, I'm telling you, but don't get on with your life. The thing you might be giving up, your God, in the economy. It's nothing that is worthy of. It's not a play in the name of love. I'm feeling love. Now this must come to an end. Yeah, the boys say, please, put your bell for me. Woo! Get out of my boyfriend!
I want to thank you guys for being a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Kick Butt audience for 2 great nights. I thank you guys rock. Should I answer it? Well, should I? Oh, hi. Hi, honey. Listen, you kind of called it a bad time. Listen, why don't you call back later? I'm in the middle of a show. I can't talk to you right now. Listen, tell me what to get back to the hotel. I just might not be by myself.
Same story about the soul that changed my destiny. And my voice went out, just you and the misery. The home and the see what they did in front of me. I got a little place nearby, I wanna go. Should have said no. Someone waiting for me. But I'm gonna go up and say, I'm sorry. Gonna say don't worry. I will be late someday. And wait for me. They're getting on. Dropping down my battery is low. So you know, I'm going to a place nearby. Gotta go. Now here's gone nothing's been what I can take it back. What's done is done. One of the friends found out that she wasn't my only one. And it keeps me from inside. She's not by my side. I feel the wind that's holding on. I'm sorry. Gonna say don't worry. I will be late to see you. And I'll wait for me. Taking you on. Dropping out my battery is low. So you know, going to a place nearby. Gotta go.
Melanie Griffith, Rosie O'Donnell, and Demi Moore star in Now and Then. CBS Next.
This week on The Bold and the Beautiful.
Hispanic fashion design is right now.
You'll meet a man
This guy's got something we can use.
who has style,
Something very magical.
passion,
Caliente.
and just what it takes to turn up the heat.
Antonio Dominguez. Dream maker.
Now what happens next is everything.
Yes, kind of like that. Sierra Mist. A shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
It's new, improved. It's at Claiborne's SUV Central. Drive the all-new 2002 Explorer. Bigger and better with lots of improvements. Like optional 7-passenger seating. Lease a loaded 4x4, only $338 a month for 24 months. 70 all-new 2002 Explorer. All jacked with Claiborne's best bottom line deal. Like a loaded 4-door 4x4. Only $338 a month and only at Claiborne. Route 59 in Kent.
Hey, Jerry Stiller.
Where did you come from?
Enjoying your post-raisin bran?
Every morning.
Know how many bowls of that it'd take to equal the vitamin nutrition in just one bowl of Total Raisin Bran?
I bet you're going to tell me.
4.
Holy moly.
Total Raisin Bran has 100% of 11 vitamins and minerals. Now including 100% calcium.
I'll take the Total Raisin Bran.
Now you're Mr. Nice Guy.
I want you out of here. The Total can stay.
Total. Now with 100% calcium.
We could have a record cold night tonight. The full forecast at 11. Where do more Americans go to the movies? CBS, the #1 movie network. In the summer of 1970,
You're a hippie, aren't you?
4 best friends made a promise to always be there for each other. Now,
Did we have fun that summer or what?
that time has come. Brendan Fraser, Melanie Griffith, Rosie O'Donnell, Rita Wilson, and Demi Moore.
I've forgotten how much it helped to have you guys as friends.
In a story that will touch your heart. Now and then, CBS Next.